Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic Con 2014 and beyond. I am your most excellent host, Ryan. In front of me, eating Burger King,
Brad.
To my right is...
Ah, shit. We can't do this right now. Legend of Korra is on, guys. I gotta go.
Yeah, fuck you, James. And sitting in front of me also is...
Laura.
Wow, my wife is really excited to be on the show today.
So stoked.
She's like half
Well, you know
asleep.
what,
She's got a
Laura,
martini.
I'm always
She's a
happy
little
to
bit
be on the show.
buzzed.
It's always fun.
You can, not be on the show.
I
If
know.
you're gonna bring
Whoa,
that
whoa.
kind of, if you're gonna bring that kind of attitude, I don't want her on the show.
Oh, man. I like having you here, Laura.
I like being here, James.
Thanks.
Yeah, you'll get tired of her after a while. That was a married joke, guys. That was a married joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
That's actually one of our favorite things to do. Like when we're at checkouts, one of us will make like an inappropriate, we'll have like a fake fight when we're like in front of a cashier. We do it all the time. And then cashier just gets really uncomfortable. Doesn't know what to do. It's awesome.
Or they'll invite you to a party and then let you sip it with their friends and they'll air their dirty laundry in front of each other.
We have dirty laundry.
No, I just folded it all. We're good.
Yeah. See, guys, that's how
Oh.
that's how you keep your wife in check.
Tee it up.
She does the laundry. She cleans the house. I come home and I'm like, get me a beer. Everything but the beer part.
That was actually a perfect example of why you're married.
Yep.
Because you teed up the joke and she just
Let it
hit
go.
smacked it. Like batted at it like a cat.
Yep.
This isn't a marriage podcast. This is a movie podcast. Every week we go see a new movie, and this week we went and saw Prisoner, starring Hugh the Wolverine Jackman.
Hey, Hugh, the Logan, the Wolverine Jackman.
Yes. I'm going to tell you a few things. Of course, as always, if you log on to tweakedaudio.com, and when you check out, type in Real Nerds in the coupon section as one word, and you'll get a third off your whole order, and wonder why I sound silky smooth. It's because of the Tweaked Audio earbuds.
Normally he sounds really irritating, so Tweaked Audio does wonderful things.
Yep. It's a noise reduction thing. Also, next week we'll be at Myth and Legends Con at the Denver Tech Center Sheridan.
Man, that came up quick.
It did. Dude, we have so much shit going on. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
We'll be there next week, so come and say hi. I haven't got an email back about the panel we're in. I did get an email back about our press passes, so
Cool.
make sure you guys sign up for those. We each got our own email
Oh, okay.
for that.
And to be clear, don't look for the booth. The booth won't be there, but we will be there wandering around
And
So
having
just
fun.
keep your eyes open.
I might film something with my iPhone and then give it to Brad and say, make this look good.
And we'll keep your eyes on our keep your eyes on our Twitter, and we'll just let you know where, like, what
Oh, yeah.
panels we're going to and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
if you
if-
want to like sit next to us and rub our shoulder or
That'd be
something like
awesome.
that.
And if you know, if during cons, if you follow us on Twitter, we do take pictures and tweet them all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know I have great pictures with me with Claire Kramer and Phil Lamar and Joe Kelly and Georges Jonty and all these great people from Denver Comic Con.
Yeah. Which are all on with those pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, you should check
can
them out.
find
They're
them.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to pretend to be Ryan and tweet stuff like, hey, I'm in the Aspen Hall bathroom blowing some dude. Come find me.
Wait, that's not what I pretend I tweet. I do tweet that. That's not a pretend tweet.
That's right, too.
Gosh.
Yeah, don't repost his tweets.
Yeah, what's that about? Whoa, I set that to private. Also, October 5th is the Saturday. I always get my days mixed up. October 4th is the Friday. October 5th is a Saturday. We will be at Mile High Horror
Yeah.
at the Alamo Draft House in Littleton. If you haven't got tickets for this yet, you must get them soon. I was just looking at their event thing where they invited people. They have over 1,500 people going to this thing.
Wow.
So it's going to be really big. This year, I'm going to try. I hope I can sneak away. I might not be able to, but there is a 35th anniversary screening of Dawn of the Dead
Ooh.
there, which I probably won't be able to see, but, maybe they'll show it Friday, too. We'll see. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Because also star of Dawn of the Dead, Ken Faree, will be there. And I'm really hoping... I'm going to play the Jonathan Tiersten card. Jonathan Tiersten's been on our show, and he's a really nice guy, and, he helps us out a lot, and he's friends with him, so I'm hoping that maybe Jonathan can talk him into being on our show.
That'd be awesome.
So we'll see. I heard he's really big, though.
Like a big guy or like...
Like a big guy, like he's 6'6" or something.
Ooh.
I do know he's... I mean, if you've seen the Halloween remake, he plays a guy who's taking a crap when Michael Myers kills him. And the guy who plays Michael Myers is 7 feet tall, and they look like they're kind of almost the same height. So
Oh, man.
I don't know if it's a camera trick, but I heard he's a pretty big guy. So it'll be interesting. I'll be dwarfed by him, but that's all right. It'll be fun. Also, Doug Bradley, who plays Pinhead, will be there.
Oh, cool.
And I promised Laura's friend, who's become my friend, his name's Matt, is a really big Hellraiser fan. So I'm going to try to get him on the show and ask him some really tough Pinhead questions. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
That's the one. Yeah, I'm not the horror guy, but Hellraiser was the one that Scott Derrickson did.
Number 5. I really want to ask him about that one too, because a lot of the fans hate it, but it's one of my favorites because I think it's more powerful that Pinhead shows up at the end and tells you why this guy is a piece of shit and why he's in hell.
Yeah,
and is torturing him instead of him constantly being throughout the movie. That's why I think Hellraiser 4 is not that good.
Cool.
And it takes place in space. That's why Hellraiser 4 isn't good as well. Also, we'll be at Telluride Horror Fest again.
Fuck yeah.
Yay!
October
I'm really
11th
excited about
through
it.
the 13th. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to run into James at the comic auction this week. Went ahead and got Paul Salmon's Conan book. And hopefully...
I just want to sit down with that guy for another hour and a half.
It'll be lots of fun. Because
you know what I realized when we got that book? We didn't talk to him about Conan at all.
I know.
Like, and that's, a year after they remade it and stuff like that. Like, what
like
the
I
fuck?
said, I didn't... After the fact, I found out he was on the Day the Earth Stood Still Blu-ray special features.
Oh, that's right. That too. Oh, man. Yeah.
So we got a lot to talk to him about.
I hope he shows up.
Hopefully. And also, that's where we're going to be.
Yeah.
So, come by, say hi if you're in Telluride. Make sure you check out. I can't wait to see what movies they have. Me and James saw.
I'm really, really excited this year because last year I was stuck studying pharmacology all weekend, and this time I have my degree, so I can just go see movies.
Degree nothing. It paid off. You have the big girl job you got because of it, so...
I do a big girl job, and I also got an A on that test I was studying.
You can't. So you can't complain too much.
No, except that I missed fucking Paranorman. They had the puppets there, and I missed it because I was at a bar reading about fucking diazepam or whatever I was studying.
Yeah.
But this year,
I missed it because we were interviewing Paul Salmon.
That's true.
So make sure you stop by and say hi. Also, September 24th, we will be debuting Episode 3 of the Pod Show.
That's Tuesday.
This Tuesday.
I'm excited. I can go to that too because I have a big girl job.
I know, me too.
I'll be playing softball, but these guys will be handling it.
Really?
Yeah.
You're not coming?
Nope.
Oh, fuck,
One of these days when he's the star of one of these episodes, then he'll show up.
Yeah, you guys put me in the back burner, so fuck you guys. No, this one I have a couple good lines.
I was going to say, you have like all the...
Well, James did give me like paragraphs to memorize.
I gave you all the douche lines, though.
You did.
I realized, when I was done, I was like, oh yeah, I gave him like all the dumb guy lines.
It's all right. I've been worse things. Right, Reggie? Reggie's part of this podcast. He has one eyeball.
Rape trailers that are going to debut that same night.
Oh,
hopefully
don't
that'll
give it
be
away.
right. What?
Hopefully I'll be done enough time to run over there and see it because my softball's actually right on Sheridan, so I should be able to zip across really fast.
Oh yeah, even if because it doesn't air right at the beginning anyway. So if you were a little late, that'd be fine.
So hopefully I'll make it.
So Ryan will be there too. Is what we're saying.
So definitely come out because I'll be there. I mean, that's why I would come.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'm looking forward to going again. I had a lot of fun last time. So
I think we should bring a jar of mayonnaise and give it to somebody.
Spreadable.
Why is that a spoiler? Stay tuned September 24th to see Pod Show Episode 3.
Or we could bring a bladder of mayonnaise.
Ew.
Oh, yuck.
What? Why would it be in a bladder?
No, at my work, that's how they get the mayonnaise. It comes in a box in a plastic bag.
Oh, like milk in Canada?
Yeah, and it's fucking disgusting. Even the kitchen guy is like, yeah, this is nasty. But
Ew. That is not Kraft. I don't roll unless it's
no.
creamy flavor of Kraft.
I mean, it's legit mayonnaise, but I don't know why you need it in a plastic. I don't know why. What about a plastic bag makes it gross? I don't understand. Anyway, I mean, wine in a plastic bag is awesome.
To ship.
Yeah, and if you said bag, it's that you said bladder.
When you ship it in a bag, they put it in a box and they can put it on pallets and send it out to like restaurants and stuff.
But is that more convenient than like the 5-gallon bucket that they usually?
Well, yeah, because it's easier to store in like walk-in freezers and having a huge bucket.
And those buckets probably break more often.
Yeah,
that's true.
I'm sure that was fun for everybody. Hey, fan mail. Just a few tweets this week.
I feel vindicated.
Oh yeah, this is James's hetero life mate.
No, he's just a fan of ours.
James Cormanick, who stopped by, who's actually did an interview with us at Denver Comic Con, which you'll probably hear someday, right, Brad?
Yep.
Just saying, we
Was he Saturday morning?
Huh?
Was he a Saturday morning interview?
No.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see her sometime.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I've seen Cougar's interview. I haven't seen Fiona Staples or Ben Templesmith. Just saying. And James, who writes into the show. Anyways, he's talking about. Well, you have been on Star Trek really bad, and I went ahead and I bought all 3 versions of it, James, to give to you.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, at least that way I don't spend any of my
I'm just kidding.
money
I
on
haven't
it.
bought it yet, but I kept on meaning to. But because I think the slipcover is really badass.
Yeah, so I won you
Like-
over.
That's the one I
You
got.
still haven't
Goddamn
bought it.
slipcover.
You still
Well, no,
haven't
like,
bought
did
it.
you get the 3D one or just the normal?
Just a normal one.
That one's sweet. Like,
Yeah.
on the front, you take it off, and Khan goes with it. It's awesome.
It's
Wait,
a clear. It's a clear. Like
It's like clear plastic.
No, I mean, who goes with it?
Con.
Who's on it? Who?
Well, because like in the background is
he's not getting it.
He's
Con's
trying
not in
to
that
call you
movie?
out that you
Oh.
just spoiler alerted that.
I spoiler
movie.
alerted a movie that made $280 million.
That's true. Everyone knows by now.
So he was. Gotta get through these retweets because I don't care what James says. He said at Real Nerds, that's why I should just stick to comics. And he actually at Paramount DVD'd this.
Well, first he at Universal, like for the first tweet, he says he sort of calls him out and says it's bullshit.
Yeah, well, I guess the first thing he says is at Uni Studios, thinking Trekkies are crazy stupid with their money. Let's sell them at Star Trek movie 4 times.
Yeah,
And then he went on to say that, and that's why I should just stick with comics.
yeah.
If you haven't been following along, Paramount decided to sell Star Trek Into Darkness by giving you the movie and then a couple featurettes and then all the really exclusive stuff they spread out across different retailer exclusives.
But you know what's weird? Have you actually flipped the back of those? Because I went to Walmart and Target, and it just says like it has this all the featurettes, and then it says plus more. It
It's
doesn't
the
tell
same.
you.
Yeah.
It's not
What-
much more.
No,
Yeah.
No.
well, it doesn't
here-
tell you what it is. Where did you get yours at?
I got mine at Walmart.
And what came with the Walmart one?
It just their exclusive was a different, like a separate set. There was a steelbook, and it came with like a replica of the USS Vengeance.
See,
Cool.
that's cool.
That's a cool thing, yeah. But
I mean, what was this like? What commentary did it have on it?
it wasn't like a feature thing. It was
Didn't have
at least
any-
I
So
didn't notice.
they had a normal retailer incentive, not content retailer incentive.
Yeah, or at least I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't really looking for it.
Because I know like one of them has JJ and the other one is the cast. I think
Yeah.
JJ is on Amazon, and then the cast is Target.
I thought Amazon didn't have
That's
one.
so
I haven't.
silly.
Again, I haven't looked at it.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
You,
sense.
you know what really, like, I hadn't thought about this, but then it pissed me off this week was my poor victimized brother who had pre-ordered this months ago in complete faith that Paramount would continue to treat him as well as they have for the years that they've had the Star Trek rights. He pre-ordered it and forgot that he'd pre-ordered it, so it showed up at his house. But he's been buying the 3D versions of Blu-rays of movies that he likes because he, like, in his mind, he's like, look, the next time I upgrade my TV, it's gonna end up being 3D because they're all 3D anymore, and he doesn't want to have to buy Blu-rays again. So he's like, why not just pay the extra $5 when I buy a Blu-ray? The 3Ds don't have it. Like, even if you buy the 3D version, it doesn't have all the stuff on it, which that would be an easy... Like, that makes a lot of sense to me. Like, if they had just released it so, well, if you buy the 3D version, you get all the content no matter where you buy it, then I'd probably be fine. I'd probably be like, okay, I'll buy the 3D version.
3D version has a sweet cover too.
It does.
And
yeah,
Second
yeah.
Spin was selling that one for $20.
It's a badass collection. It's just that it also doesn't have commentary.
But if this is the wave of the future,
Didn't you get a taste of the Next Generation in high definition?
I did.
Yeah. Did you get the seasons in high definition?
I never did. Okay, again, that is different because they were
Okay.
they were releasing that next level thing because they weren't entirely sure if they were going to have enough demand for that show to pay for. Yeah, because that whole process was crazy expensive. Like that show is in a sweet spot of upgrading.
Oh,
it
no,
to
I
HD
understand why.
was going
I'm
to
just
cost them a
saying
lot of
that-
money. So
and they didn't just master in HD. They like did like computer generated work to
yeah.
No, I
make
understand.
it HD. yeah.
and
I was
the
on this
four-
podcast when you're talking about
the
it.
four that they did are
I'm just
four
saying that
really
they
good
double
episodes.
dipped you for that too. Plus the Hobbit.
Just reminding the audience, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
totally
you
look at that
boys,
differently.
I just
It-
don't understand this shit.
it goes straight back to the same fact that with those, I can buy what I want. With Star Trek, I can't.
I was gonna say, if this is the wave of the future, splitting up regularly purchased content across different retailer exclusives, why not just sell parts of the movie as retail extras, so that you can just force people to go to different stores and buy the complete film.
Or
That's
how
the
about
next
this?
step, right?
How about this? If you really feel like you're not getting enough money out of me, why don't you just make them $30 Blu-rays and make me buy fewer of them? Like, it's stupid.
So what did James say about the rest of that?
That's what.
That's
Did you
what
read
he
all
said.
4 tweets?
That's what he
Yeah,
said.
No.
He retweeted.
He said,
a couple
he
of ours.
said, what was the last thing? I guess I'll stick with comics.
Yeah, I'll stick with comics.
Which is fair.
Someone just almost ran someone over outside our house. So thanks, James, for writing in. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Not you, James. Fuck you. No one cares about your opinion and your crybaby about Star Trek.
Aw.
About how they make you buy DVDs twice and you're buying The Hobbit twice.
Here, full disclosure, what's funny about the story I just told? My brother has a copy, so I can just watch it if I want.
Yeah.
So I can
Also,
I can
full
continue
disclosure. So, I brought up this Hobbit thing, and I was just thinking in my head before we started this, and I was reading those tweets throughout the week. You've spent like $150 on The Hobbit. You're going to. How many
Where?
times did you see it in the theater?
Only twice.
But you saw the 1750 one the first time because we saw
That's
it.
true. Yeah.
And then you saw
no, I saw it twice that way.
So
Yeah.
that was $34.
Yeah.
And then how much was the Blu-ray? 22?
Yeah, somewhere around 20, 22.
So 56, and then the next one's 30. So I'm sorry, $86
Yeah.
on The Hobbit.
Yeah, but
Saying-
I knew what I was, I knew what I was paying for. Like,
I still
I'm not-
just in my head I'm like, but yeah.
How much
So-
have you spent
so-
rebuying the
so
Friday
basically
13th
what you're-
movies?
yeah, what you're
right.
saying is like I should just go ahead and buy all 4 Blu-rays because I bought.
Yeah.
I spent so much money
That's
on The
what I'm
Hobbit.
saying.
Like that. No, that argument does not make any sense. Like,
And I just like ruffling James's feathers.
yeah, I know.
I just,
know.
I like. Okay, try to explain to me.
Quiet
nerds,
woman, the men are talking.
Right? Try to explain to me, like,
Live long and shut the fuck up. Men are talking.
Laura, I'm listening. Keep talking.
So-
I care about
Just
your
ignores
opinion.
me.
the content on these extra Blu-rays that apparently the studio is forcing you to buy. Your hands are tied. You have to.
No, I don't. That's the point. I don't.
How long is it? I guess if you're looking at it, so you already purchased a Blu-ray for what, $20?
I didn't purchase the Blu-ray.
Mine was 15.
I mean, in theory.
Okay,
And
so
then-
it would be $20. Yeah.
And so it's just average price. Some are more, some are less. So every additional Blu-ray is $20 that you have to purchase because there's more shit on it. So you're saying that one commentary is worth an extra $20 to you?
No, I'm not.
I don't get it.
I'm not saying like I didn't buy it. What I'm saying is that I feel like as a normal fan of Blu-rays, as a collector of Blu-rays, I would say, as the primary audience for what they're selling, that I am entitled, and that I know what that word
Fucking
means.
fanboy.
No, that I am entitled to getting the content that I am used to getting for the price I'm used to getting it for. And that if you're going to start trying to pull the rug out from under me and get the hardcore fanboys to spend extra money on stuff, or to try and control how I spend my money because you think that I am simply like your lapdog and that I will use my money however you say I should, that I'm just not going to spend my money on you. And I will go straight back to it, that I will find what, probably what I'll do is in a week or two when there's a used copy at Tradesmart, I'll go in there and I'll buy that movie for $1. Because honestly, if you're going to treat me like shit, your product is worth $1 to me. That's what I'm saying. It's about the way you treat your customers. It is not about what the product is actually worth or not worth.
Well,
it's about what that company says to me when they price and decide what they want to give me for my money.
See, and that's the argument I want to hear, but they're like, I just don't understand why you buy the same shit
Right.
twice.
I'm not
thinking
buying
that
the same shit
But
twice.
thinking you deserve an intellectual property is, you don't deserve it, and you're not entitled to it. If you want it, like Laura said, you can spend another $20 and hear the cast commentary.
But
I
that
disagree.
cast
And then
commentary
you're
is costing
you're
$20.
entitled to the cast commentary.
I think that as a customer, I'm entitled to being treated a certain way, and I think the way that they are treating their customers is shitty.
I absolutely agree. It does not surprise me considering that Ryan will buy one Blu-ray versus the other for slipcovers. And I understand for nerds out there, that's not a big deal. For me, what the fuck?
See, that is different because then he's buying it for cosmetic reasons. It's not the content itself.
It looks
It
pretty.
is
a
it
cool
is my
slip cover's
choice
like
to do
a
that.
like a fancy pair of boots. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
like
saying.
I buy different.
No way.
I buy different versions of comics because
You
of
keep
the
my
different
Doc Martin
covers.
out of this.
I buy different versions of comics because of
Thank
the
you,
different
Brad.
covers. Because I mean, yes, that is still sort of a double dipping kind of thing, but it's also just traditionally the way that market works, and traditionally the way that the Blu-ray market works is not, hey, the cool stuff that makes it worth it for you to own this on DVD and not just pass it around among your friends. That stuff is always on that Blu-ray. Part of the incentive for me to buy a Blu-ray when it comes out is that the movies that I love, I'm going to get to learn more about that movie. You know, I'm going to get to seat myself in that movie and watch it over and over again and learn about like whatever stuff
Like
they want to
Mud.
teach me about that movie. Yeah, like Mud.
Because you love Matthew McConaughey's pecs.
I do, man. He works out on the beach real good. Let's move on.
He does. Hey, this is stuff we've been watching this week. Oh my gosh, guys! I watched so much shit this week.
Did you?
No. I got the Friday the 13th Blu-ray set, and I was only able to watch Part 4. And
You started with part 4?
yeah,
Why?
Part 4. My favorite Friday the 13th is Part 6.
Mm-hmm.
But Part 4, this sounds really stupid saying this, but Part 4 I think is the ultimate Friday the 13th movie.
No, I agree.
Where Part 6 I think is a better movie. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I think Part 6 is made better, but I think Part 4 is
4 has all the elements
Yeah.
of the Friday 13th.
Yeah, okay,
If
cool.
you had to boil the entire franchise into a movie, like that one has all the elements that you're looking for.
okay. Cool. Yeah,
The
I just
whole
got-
mythos and mystique of Friday the 13th is kind of captured in that one movie.
Yeah, thanks, Brad. I couldn't explain it. Like Part 4 is the ultimate Friday the 13th movie.
What as a layman, what is there that's in 4 that's not in 1?
Well, see, if you've never
Like,
seen,
is it-
have you ever
stuff
seen a
in-
Friday the 13th movie?
I don't
4
think
that's not
so.
in 2 either.
So is it like the mysticism and mythology stuff?
Well, see,
and the
when you
first
think
one
about
is just
Jason,
a
what do you
slasher?
think? Like
Yeah.
when you think about Jason, what comes to mind?
Hockey mask.
Exactly.
Sweet.
That's not in 1 or 2.
So
Okay.
So
All right, see, this
I
is what I'm
will,
looking
I
at.
will spoil Part 1 for you. Jason is not in that movie.
Right, because that one's his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew
So-
I knew that.
So, Part 1 I think is actually really cool suspense, like who done it.
Yeah. So that movie's more like a regular slasher where at the end it's just this
Yeah.
lady, and then after that is when it
And
sort of
Part 2
becomes
they
like
kind of retcon the whole Part 1, where Jason never died, and he's living, and he like basically was living off the land. Part 3 he gets his hockey mask. Part 4 has nudity, kids being promiscuous, Jason stalking them, Tom Savini makeup effects.
okay.
the
So
whole
it starts getting like
Tommy
the,
Jarvis storyline.
Yeah, a Tommy Jarvis storyline that carries through 3 movies.
It starts getting like the genre tropes that you
Yeah,
expect. Okay.
and honestly, I think in that one, Jason's maybe the most menacing in it. He's really good when Kane Hodder takes over, but Kane Hodder's really controlled in his menace. Part 4, though, he's pretty intense in it. But yeah, watching it in high definition, because I've seen him so many times, it looks pretty good. And I was telling Laura when we were watching it, because Laura's never seen it either. When we were watching
Really?
it, yeah,
Wow.
the colors are so bright, and that's the thing I notice more about movies from the 80s and 70s when they're on Blu-ray, is the colors are so more vivid, and it just looks so great. Like especially a cheap slasher movie where it might not be as well, and like Jason's getting his head chopped in half. Like when he falls down, you can see all the little like brain pieces and stuff, and with the remixed sound, did you know he's grunting when he's getting chopped up?
No.
Yeah, like he gets in the head, he's like, "Argh!" and he falls down, and I swear I've watched that
Is it like-
movie 20 times. I have never heard those sounds coming out of Jason.
Did you watch the commentary? Did they talk about? Because with Jaws, they upped that roar at the end of Jaws when the shark died. So maybe it's something like that where
Well,
they
here's
in
the
the sound
bummer.
mix they turned it back up.
The only bummer about the Friday the 13th box set, which I don't think it's actually, I've been talking to Laura about this a lot. A lot of the Friday the 13th fans are really pissed off with this box set.
Oh yeah.
Because what they did is they put all the movies in HD, but they ported over all the DVD extras from the previously released DVDs.
So they're not in HD.
Some of them are,
Oh,
but
okay.
most of them are not. But I was telling Laura, I'm like, how much more are you going to learn about Friday the 13th? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But there is something more you can learn, because also this week I got my Crystal Lake Memories Blu-ray, which is a 6.5-hour long documentary about Friday the 13th.
Shit.
It's made by the guys who made More Brains.
Yeah.
And remember I was telling you when I was watching More Brains, I'm like, it was a 3.5-hour long documentary about one movie.
That's not 3.5 hours long.
No, the movie's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But what's really cool about this documentary is they took a book, which I have, right, Crystal Lake Memories, right there, and they divided it up in chapters. Instead of just reading it, now they had all these people being interviewed. for it. And what I really like about what it's called 1428 Productions is they don't do the normal EPK fluff stuff where, oh, it's so great working with Sean Cunningham. You know, they say, oh, this part sucked. This guy was an asshole. The director was a piece of shit, is what one of the Jason says, and who played Jason. So it's pretty interesting that, you know, they didn't all, you know, have rosy things about it. It is really well done, and the people are really fascinating. It's really kind of interesting seeing what people took care of themselves and what people like let themselves go after, you know, 34 years since the movie came out. And some of them, like Alice from Part 1, who's the heroine, she still looks really good. The girl from Part 3 looks really good. Who's the one from this girl from Part 4, the girl who gets stabbed through the raft? She looks like exactly the same. And I think she's like 52 now, and she was 18.
That the one, what was the one douchey director? Like looks like hell.
Oh yeah, well he's dead now.
Is he? Did he die?
Yeah.
Oh, then
Yeah, it doesn't
that's
surprise.
why
It looks like
hell.
he was like mainlining whiskey.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing: the Part 5 director came from porn, and you can tell watching his Friday the 13th, because for Friday the 13th it's fucking sleazy and gratuitous.
Like, oh, titties here. I don't know what to do here. Let's do titties, and then
but
You know what this movie needs more of? Grinding.
well, they
Yes.
were talking about in
Twerking.
that movie, which I mean, there's part of this movie I never knew. Brad, do you remember Part 5 at all?
I know it's
Horrible.
the lame one.
Yeah. Well, there's a punk rock girl where she does like the robot. Her original death is she takes a machete up her cooter.
Oh.
I'm like, really? And they're just like trying to top, just being it's being gratuitous
That's
for
not.
being sake. It's
That's not like super gruesome. It's just. Well, I mean, it is, but
it's gruesome, but it's horrible.
yeah.
But it's, I don't know, like it's like the
It's a very
Hostel movies.
obvious
Like
kind of-
it's just gross to be gross. There's
Yeah.
nothing behind it.
yeah.
And I was actually really sad. I don't know if I told you guys. Remember, I watched Pig Hunt.
Yeah.
And I told you it was directed by the guy who directed Jason X. And I always feel like an asshole. I was like, oh, Pig Hunt was the last movie he did. I guess as a piece of shit, he died of like bone marrow cancer. I'm like, oh well, that's why he did not make.
My
another
grandma
movie.
had
You
bone marrow
piece of
cancer.
shit, Ryan.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I thought like Pig Hunt ruined his career, but Pig Hunt did not ruin his career.
No, cancer did.
Cancer did.
Yeah.
But he was really insightful too in his interview he did, talking about he had his original vision for Jason X was compromised. So yeah, if you care about the franchise, you should check it out. It's pretty good. It's really well done. I also watched World War Z, the unrated cut.
Oh,
And-
what's different?
Yeah, a lot.
Oh,
And this is one of the unrated cuts because sometimes when they say unrated, it's like a scene where they talk for another 5 minutes.
but is this like all those unsatisfying deaths from the theatrical cut
Yep.
are not unsatisfying anymore?
And what is awesome is the zombies are more terrifying in it.
Damn.
Because they really, you can tell that they were going for a PG-13 originally, but the way they shot it was an R.
Oh,
Because there's I don't think I remember it, but like there's a part when they're on the plane and people are turning into zombies. There's like these passengers that are like fidgeting in their chairs, and then their eyes roll back in their heads, and they start like ripping like people apart and stuff. And it's really it's pretty shocking. And there's a part at the beginning when Brad Pitt is getting his family out, and they're in that Winnebago, and you see like zombies jumping around. Well, in the unrated cut, a zombie jumps on the car and starts like bashing its head over and over and over again against the windshield and the side, and blood's flying everywhere, and it's pretty intense. And he's killing zombies, chopping their heads off and stuff. And
that sounds cool.
yeah,
I know. I
that's what
did
that movie
feel
needed.
that movie would have been more effective was rated R.
Oh yeah.
No, I think
Which is
that-
kind of, I don't know. I think it was kind of silly. that they
actually,
even
I think
went
the
with
movie's really
13.
good. Like watching it again, I think it's really good.
I guess actually we weren't going to talk about this in news at all, but did you read about the director came out and described like what the original ending was going to be?
I heard it was like they were in like Canada and the zombies were moving slower.
Moscow.
Or something. Moscow. I can't remember.
They did. Is any of that stuff on the Blu-ray?
No.
Do you know? Oh,
No,
that's too bad
that's-
because some of it's shot.
Yeah, that's the only bummer is I didn't know this. Again, it's one of those things like the Star Trek where it says "and more" like on the back for the special features.
But the more's not
it's
much.
literally like 3 featurettes.
That's too bad.
So to me, it seems like maybe they're probably going to release another one. It's Paramount.
Oh fuck!
But no, I actually really enjoy this movie, and I enjoyed it more because I thought the scenes, sometimes extra violence is stupid, but when the zombies are out of control in it, it makes it better. The only thing that I didn't like in the unrated cut was when he goes to Korea and he sees that guy in the cell. His dialogue's a little more over the top. Like his dialogue's a little more in it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, what they said was that, and I sort of had this suspicion when we saw it, was that the change of the ending was that after when he's at WHO and he sort of figures out how to fight the zombies, we then were supposed to go to Moscow and have this big like war at Moscow. I don't know. You read the book. I don't know if that's in the book or not, but and it was basically just supposed to be another big zombie battle thing, very much like the Jerusalem scene, and that they sort of just said like, yeah, we needed an ending that was. We had been through a lot of big action scene fighting things, and we needed a low-key zombie part, and that actually is maybe my favorite sort of vignette in the film. Either that or the one at night when they're trying to get the plane gassed up. Like those two quiet little zombie sections are maybe my favorite parts.
I think they're almost more effective. Well, maybe because the CGI of the
I was just
zombies
gonna
in
say,
Jerusalem was so bad, but
that's
all like when Brad Pitt is downstairs with the zombies trying to get that specimen room. Like I was on the edge of my seat. Like I thought it was.
Well, no,
really
I think
effective.
I know Laura said I 100% agree. Watching the movie again, and of course because I was in not a very good theater in Hutchinson, Kansas.
Oh, that's right.
But here I'm seeing it in Blu-ray in high definition. Some of the CGI zombies look okay. Like there's this one lady in Jerusalem who's like in a corner and she's like comes out and looks pretty good. But a lot of times when they're running and dodging stuff, it's silly. But in the WHO where Brad Pitt's character's in there, where it's all practical zombies, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And watching it again, they make the sound of the infected in The Last of Us. They make that sound.
Oh, that's cool.
So
clickers.
Yes.
Honestly, I was kind of hoping you were going to say that watching it on your small TV or on your TV. Your TV's not small, but watching it on your your home screen, that hopefully the CG would look better because you couldn't see it as well. That's what I was hoping you were going to say.
Yeah. I don't know. The problem with Blu-ray is
it still looks good.
Smooths everything out.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm. So it is. I still actually. Could it be in my top 10? You'll have to stay tuned for Film Explosion 2013 in a couple months.
It's not quite that.
Not quite yet. And the last thing I lost is The last thing I watched was Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is a new comedy on Fox starring Andy Samberg.
Really?
And it's like a police detective show where he's the best detective on the force, but he's a goofball, and it's pretty funny. It's really goofy, and it takes the tropes from police dramas and makes them funny. I forget. I don't know who the captain there is. This black guy. I know he's been in lots of
Andre Braugher.
Yeah, Andre Braugher. He's been in lots of. I think he was on SVU or something. And so he plays this gay sergeant in it. And there's this really funny flashback where Terry Crews comes into Andy Samberg's character and he says, "You don't know what this guy's done. He caught the disco killer." And so it flashes back to Andre Braugher, and he has an afro, and he has a gun. He's like, "Freeze!" And it cuts to this dude with an afro and a strobe light that has a yo-yo wrapped around this guy's neck. It's totally goofy. And there's a part where he's forcing everybody to wear ties, and Andy Samberg doesn't want to wear a tie, so he comes in with a tie, and he has it tied around his stomach.
Yeah.
To show that he's wearing a tie. It's ridiculous. You have to watch it. It's made by a guy who made The Office, so it has that same kind of vibe to it, where there's lots of goofy characters, and just check it out. It's funny.
Yeah,
I'll watch it again.
Andy Samberg's character reminded me a little bit of you, honey.
Why?
Now, definitely.
Because you're a man-child, but you're...
Fuck! You know what? I'm done with this podcast. I'm going to go play with my Spider-Man toys.
Like, you're very smart, and you're very responsible, and you're very good at your job, but sometimes you were so goddamn silly. And I love it.
Oh, this is why I like having your
cute.
wife on the show. Boy, I'm a man, baby.
Mars, anyone?
And that's what I watched this week.
Cool.
Oh, wait, I did watch some more things. Sorry. I saw all of Spartacus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Is the ending good? I still haven't finished that season.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It's really good. It's sad.
Oh, because they all die? Because it's Spartacus?
Well, yeah, I mean, I knew they all died. But,
yeah.
but there's this part at the end where he's chasing down Crassus, who's like his enemy in this season. And he's about to kill him, and then Crassus's men, this is the last episode, spoilers, catch up to him, and he's getting like spears thrown through him. And I'm like, oh, fuck, he's not going to be able to kill him. This is bullshit. And then Aragon shows up and chops everybody's heads off, of course. and then they pull out, like, Spartacus breaks one of the spears, and they're like, he's alive! It's like, sweet, he's gonna make it! And he does not make it. They're able just to take him away from the battlefield.
Gotcha.
And it was really well done. It's actually, when Crixus died, it was pretty intense. He died a couple episodes before Spartacus, though.
Aw.
Because he led an attack on Rome. So
I
it's
gotta go
fun.
back and finish that show.
And, of course, there's lots of tits in it.
Yeah, constantly.
There's this
Because
one
it's directed by
part...
a porn guy.
Yeah.
No.
There's this one part where it went from, like, these people fucking to, like, Crixus just seriously doing, like, a 360 and chopping all these heads off, and then this guy goes to block it and he chops his arm off, and it goes back to people fucking. I love that show.
It's ridiculous.
And it's no more. But you know what? I'll always have it.
They'll replace it with something. They'll, you know.
What would be as cool as Spartacus? Like, Spartacus was really cool, though.
No, I'm just saying, like, if it was making good money, which I think it was doing all right,
Yeah,
then
sure it was.
they'll probably do another, like, you know, like they do with the Borgias after Tudors. Like, they'll come up with some other, because it can't be expensive. Like, it's mostly CG, that show, so.
I know. You got to find a lot of girls who are willing to drop their blouses and get pummeled
Have
constantly.
you been to LA?
No, that's the thing. If you do a new show, you can get the same girls
It's
again.
shot in New Zealand, honey, so
Oh.
Because they
I
haven't been cut
apologize.
in half yet.
that's why I watched. Should
Cool.
rent Spartacus, or Stars is showing it all month long, like a
Marathon.
or you can buy them on Amazon through Digital Bits.
Brad, what'd you see?
What did I see?
Yeah.
Did last week I talk about I've been watching Miami Vice?
I don't know. I wasn't
No,
listening to you.
No,
Not
I
No.
skipped- I skipped over that one.
Wait, the new one?
I forgot a lot of things last week. No, it's the old 80s TV show.
Good.
I have seen the movie, the new movie.
No, the new show.
Is there a new show?
Oh, I'm thinking Hawaii Five-0. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I think you were just saying that to make a statement.
No.
Yeah, it's I can't really tell you like most of the storylines. Like,
Is it super cheesy 80s?
no, it's actually like it's weird. I can't follow the storylines most of the time, but it's fucking cool. It's like
So
this-
it's
Are you gonna
80s.
start wearing like a
a white
pastel-
blazer,
a white blazer
with
with like a pastel
teal
t-shirt
t-shirt, and,
Nice. I hope you do.
and like
with some
China
boat
flat
shoes.
shoes. Yeah.
Get some
And
with a
some-
real wide collar.
Some wayfarers.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Oh, wafers.
might do it. Yeah.
How many episodes of that is there?
Could eat wafers.
There's 4 seasons. I think it's like 140 episodes. Yeah, I'm only partway through the first season, because I wasn't following most of like what the crime stories were. I just kind of
Yeah.
lost interest. But the only thing I did, like I did pay attention to the origin story of like Crockett and Tubbs and how they became partners and everything. Like that's a 2-part opener. Tubbs is a New York City cop who, some gangster out there killed his brother and then like starts a business up in Miami. So he like follows him to Miami. And Crockett's a divorcee who has like a son he's trying to like get more contact with.
Yeah.
Like he's with his ex-wife all the time. And then I forget why somehow that same drug guy is connected to Sonny in whatever crime he's trying to. So initially, like them trying to track down this drug guy is like conflicting with their investigation. So they're like kind of screwing each other over. And then eventually, they become friends and, take him down. So that old story.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then there's like tons of 80s music in
Nice.
between each,
So
like and all these like B-roll
synthesized
montages
laced?
of Miami, huh?
Synthesized laced music.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah, like Phil Collins and everything on like those Billboard hits
Yeah.
we have of the
Bring
80s.
me a
Some
higher
tenor
love.
saxophone.
Like it's so 80s and like yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I started watching that and then
Why did this happen? Why did you start watching Miami Vice?
Yeah, how did that seems like such a
It's-
random
it-
selection.
Especially if you weren't, if you can't hardly follow it, like,
well, I'm from Florida and like it was something my
Oh.
parents watched a bunch like back in the day.
yeah,
But it's free on Netflix right now.
yeah.
And so I finished watching the new season of the League for like
That's
the
good.
4th time.
Yeah.
Because it's really short and there's only 13 episodes. So it's like the next thing over was like, hey, you might like Miami Vice. And I was like, you're right, I might like Miami Vice. And I popped in and I'm like, oh my God, I remember this is Michael Mann
I
writing.
totally like Miami Vice.
Wait, the League is that you watched the League? It recommended Miami Vice.
Yeah,
That's
my
a weird
Netflix queue is very
recommendation.
weird. Well, I have eclectic tastes.
I still have that funny like thing where it says like it's recommending different genres, that it says, what is it? Horror vacation films. And it's got like Creature and Cabin in the Woods and Antichrist.
Yeah, me and Laura's Netflix is
It's ridiculous.
This is Laura's. It goes movies with a strong female lead, which are all right.
Hell yeah!
Then it has
Based on a novel, usually.
yeah, based on a novel. Gay, lesbian, activist movies. And then it goes to mine: gory, violent horror movies, intense suspense movies. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's because they switched over to the My List thing, so it just kind of like reset all my data, and so now it's just a big jumble of like you might like this and this and this, because sometimes you watch cartoons, sometimes you watch comedies, and sometimes you watch suspense and dramas. It's just like, I don't know what to do. Here's Miami Vice.
No, we get that. Well, and now
You fucked up Netflix. Right?
His tastes are so diverse, we don't know what to do.
lately we've been doing it because Ryan and I, we both use, we have one Netflix account, and then Ryan's brother used a Netflix account too. So lately they're like, I don't fucking know. Try that. I don't.
It goes violent, dark, gritty movies.
Duck Dynasty.
Barney
Here you
and
go.
Friends.
Go for it.
Then the other thing I watched that was not on Netflix, which I actually watched last week and forgot to talk about, was I rewatched Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Whoa!
Nice.
Like the first time in decades.
Yeah.
And like there's no way, like I can't imagine that movie would ever get made today if it wasn't like just an indie art house flick.
Yeah,
because it's so esoteric and all the jokes are like such a specific kind of humor. And then I also rewatched it with the Tim Burton Paul Rubens commentary on the disc, and that's a bore because they're both very quiet.
I was gonna say that neither one of them are very outgoing individuals.
Yeah, but the fascinating thing they did talk about was like the reason like Pee Wee Herman became a character is because Paul Rubens tried out for Saturday Night Live and didn't make the cut. So he was like, fuck this, I'm going to go just take this character and do my own thing, and he made it. So,
you know, one of my favorite bits in that movie, and it's totally stupid, it's the way Paul Rubens delivers the line. Him and is it it's not Dottie? Is that
it's Dottie?
He goes down out of the T-Rex. And
oh no, that's
what's her name?
It's the girl who wants to go to France.
Yeah,
I forget her name.
And they leave, and she goes, Andy, and it goes to Pee-wee. It goes, Andy, and then he chases him around with a bone. I don't know why I think how he says a line is funny, but I always love that. And it's funny when you can relate to things, because I used to watch a movie all the time when I was little. It's one of the few Tim Burton movies I actually like. And when I was in New Orleans with Brandon, I went into this truck stop casino, and I had a pink polo on and my plaid shorts like I usually wear. And everybody stopped and looked at me. And when they did, I went, Large Marge sent me. And, of course, it is met with crickets. But, it was there.
That's funny.
And they talk about like how that dinosaur truck stop is pretty much like surrounded by typical sprawling like street mall complexes now.
Really? Oh, it's still there?
Yeah.
That's cool. I want to see it. Where's it at?
They didn't say specifically. And then that famous thing where he's doing the tequila dance. Apparently he totally clocks his head on the rafters in the shot.
Oh wow!
And plays it off. Stuff like that. Yeah. So it's if you can get through the monotone boringness of the commentary, there's actually some interesting stuff on there.
Are they in the same room, or is it two different commentaries?
They're in the same room.
Together?
They're both talking together.
That
yeah.
seems like it should be fascinating. Like putting those two totally different dudes in a room should be interesting.
I wouldn't say they're totally different.
Well, you're right, because when you see interviews with Paul Rubens, he is actually like quiet as a normal dude. I guess you're right. They're kind of quiet dudes in real life, but eccentric.
And Tim Burton sounds like normal on the commentary, like a normal guy. Like in a lot of like interviews where he's on camera, he has like sunglasses on, and he's like kind of like leaning back and talking about his ideas.
It's the drugs.
It might be a character, because on there he just sounds pretty normal. And then also actually the girl who's going to France, she is in Batman Returns. The opening scene where the Penguin's parents give him away. That's Paul Rubens and that chick.
Really?
Yeah. So
nice.
Wow.
I know how you make me want to watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, I
remember he's checking with the big thumb, and they honk at me, throws it at him.
Oh, and then there's like when he's with the convict escape driving, and then he dresses up in drag to fool the cop.
And the convict's attracted to him.
Yeah, there's that one shot where the convict just turns and ogles him for a second in this PG movie.
No, that movie's pretty unusual.
Yeah. And then, like, growing up, I was always, like, terrified of, like, the whole Large Marge, like, in the truck thing.
Oh, it's
And,
good
like, when they
shit.
drive over the cliff, too.
Just like this.
And now watching it today, I'm like, why did I ever see in that? That's, yeah, so watched that. And then the last thing I watched was Saw 3 through 6.
Nice.
What?
Yeah, which I've seen 1 and 2 a bunch. But, yeah.
I think 6
3
is
through
good.
I like Saw 3 a lot, actually.
6, yeah, it's the insurance one, so that's good. 3 is okay, except for the end when they tease you with the father has to go save his kid, and then the next movie he just gets shot, and you're like, oh my god, what's gonna happen to that kid? And then 5, they just rescue that, like, Detective Hoffman, just like, she's okay, moving on. It's like they just totally abandoned that storyline, even though it was so integral to 3. But yeah, it was cool because that girl has that shotgun neck brace thing.
Yep.
I
And
love the Saw movies.
And I always thought, like, Detective Hoffman was just recklessly rogue, like, just killing people, which is always, like, our big complaint was, like, why is the detective, like, the Detective Strom, why does he get killed? He didn't do anything wrong. And it's because I must have missed it. There's this whole scene where Jigsaw has Detective Hoffman captured with the shotgun, like, strapped to his neck. And apparently he'd been already committing Jigsaw-style murders. And so Jigsaw kidnapped him because he's like, look, stop doing this in my name. I do this to help people, and you're just killing people. Join me, and I'll teach you how to be a more effective, like, change people's lives killer. And then, so that's how he got involved. And, yeah, he strayed like Amanda did eventually, but I totally missed over that part. Like, I always thought he just, like, took over, but he'd been already killing people already because he was upset about his wife getting like overdosing on something.
Man, I
like,
don't
he was trying to be a
remember it all.
vigilante, and it just kind of backfired on him.
I have to watch them all again.
Yeah, there's
I
like
do have
stuff
them
I
all.
didn't see before. So
I have an awesome tagline for the Saw movies, like as a collection. I would have a box quote, and it would say, "Kinda like a machete to the vagina."
that's random.
Yeah.
We talked about it before. It's a callback to our earlier conversation about
Oh,
gratuitous,
yeah.
nonsensical gore for no good reason.
I don't know. I think we've had this conversation before. I totally disagree with you. Like, the one thing I love about Saw movies is they, like, I don't know, the deaths are super creative, but they also, like, until you get to, like, what is it, like 4 and 5.
5 probably has the least creative stuff because they go back to the thing of, like, there's a bunch of people they're kidnapping and torturing, like, as a group. So they all these traps that involve, like, you have to have group help to get through them. But at the same time, like, how does a guy with cancer, one detective who is a detective, so he can't just, like, disappear from his job, and then a frail girl, like, capture all these people and make all these industrial traps out of steel in apparently what takes place over a couple days?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, well, in those movies, they sort of, like, lose there's a point to this shit kind of feeling, which
Yeah. There's people that they capture to, like, test the main characters in the story, and a lot of them didn't do anything wrong. Like, the one girl that gets, like, iced over, like, all she did was, like, not report, like, she was a witness to a crime, and she just didn't talk about it. So, like, yeah, it's shitty, but did she deserve to get frozen over?
I stand by the original thing I said about that movie, which is that I think, like, the story of the first movie and sort of the motivations of, like, Jigsaw as a character I think are interesting, but they are a poor man's version of Seven, and that those two movies are very
That's
similar,
fair.
but where one is a really well crafted,
there's a reason
interesting
why
movie,
there's
and
a
the other
reason why
one is
Seven's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, and I having seen Seven, I saw and went, yeah, I saw this movie and it was better and I cared more.
Although I have to mention, so they always release Saw, like, shortly before Christmas. I mean, not Christmas.
Back
rather.
when they were making Saw movies,
Halloween.
On Halloween, actually.
They always released it, like, within a week of Halloween.
Yeah.
And so my girlfriend Sierra and I, we always went, we were in college, we always went to see the midnight showing of
Me and
Saw.
Brad did too.
And there was one year that the midnight showing of Saw corresponded with the midnight showing of a High School Musical. And so we go to the theater in Fort Collins to see Saw, and there's like 13-year-old girls everywhere, and we're like, where the fuck are your parents? Like, it was just a very strange pairing of audiences, but it was fun.
I remember being actually really tempted to go with you because I was like, I would love to go see a movie.
We always invited you.
I know, and I wanted to go, but
13-year-old girls, James. 13-year-old girls.
And midnight movies in Fort Collins at the Cinemark are $5.
That was the thing. Yeah.
It's also cool when Strom
$5.
gives himself a tracheotomy to get out of that box.
Oh,
Head in the box thing. That's sweet.
Gosh,
And I'm so ready for Halloween now.
Yeah,
Let's
to
watch all
those
those
movies.
this week. We should do it, honey. Let's make it date night.
watch 7 Saws. All right.
Yeah.
There were 7 of them.
7's the only one I don't own so far, but I'll
Do
rectify
we have
that
that
soon.
I have them all. They're right there.
I like how the box to 5 says, like, see how it all ends, and then there's 2 more.
There was actually one of the things when we got married that, like, we both had all the Saw movies. We, like, compared, like, well, this box is cooler.
We should be together forever.
Look how twisted we are.
So that's it for me. What'd you see, James?
I just saw a couple things. I saw It's a Disaster, which Brad, you saw, right?
Hey, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
It's a Disaster. It's
didn't
a
see
movie
it.
with
I didn't.
Paul Scheer and Julia Stiles and some other funny people. But
David Cross?
oh yeah, sorry, not Paul Scheer, David Cross. I've also been watching a lot of The League.
Yeah.
And it's good. Basically, these couples get together for like a couples night brunch. They call it because it's not night; it's daytime.
Yes.
So it's before lunch. They get together on a Saturday for brunch. While they're having their brunch and their sort of group drama is unfolding outside, some dirty bombs go off and they don't realize it, and the whole world is turning to shit. And then they have to like try to figure out what's going on while they realize that
While they work out their own problems.
Yeah, while they work out their own problems. But their own problem, like that, you describe it that way, and I think it sounds more dramatic than it is. Every sort of storyline has a fairly comedic ending. It, this movie kind of feels like Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, only it takes place in a bottle, and it doesn't really try for any really heady or dramatic meaning. It's just sort of like this little. It kind of feels like a funny little play. That's kind of the way that it reads because it all takes place in this one house. But it's good. It's definitely a fun watch. It's on Netflix, so I would say if you're ever cleaning the house and you want something on the TV while you do, like this is a good one to throw in and just listen to. That's the thing. Like there's nothing really happening, so honestly, it could be like a podcast and you could just listen to it and it would be funny. I think the ending is pretty interesting. So yeah, people should check it out. It's on Netflix.
I like how periodically the outside world will creep in and remind you of what's going on outside, especially when the window breaks.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Is like there's moments like that, or moments where when they find out, spoilers, it's not just radiation, it's VX gas. And like when the one woman, Ugly Betty, is explaining like why, like what VX gas is going to do to you, and it feels like it's supposed to be dramatic, but they sort of treat all the dramatic stuff kind of like blasé, which is part of the joke. Part of the joke is that these people really don't give a shit about what's going on in the world. But I don't know, it's just weird. The other thing I watched is The Bling Ring. Got a chance to watch that. It came out this week.
Is that good? I really want to see that.
It's good, yes. Sofia Coppola directed it, and if you haven't seen
Godfather 3.
Nothing to do with her directing.
Yeah. I hate to admit this. I've never seen translation.
Lost in
Lost in
Translation.
Translation. Never seen it.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like my jam, but anyway, this is
Really?
this
That
is
seems
pretty
exactly
good.
like your jam.
You think so?
Yeah.
What did he say to her at the end?
So this movie is it's based on a true story of these young kids, like 20-ish,
Brats,
who they start breaking into celebrities' houses and stealing stuff. The fascinating thing here is how sort of both how easy it seems and how almost understandable you feel. Like because the world in which they are living is one in which, like, the way they start stealing is that they're just walking along and they start just testing car doors, and there are people who just leave like wallets full of cash in car doors in these neighborhoods because they just feel like nobody's gonna steal from them. The really fascinating one is the first house they break into is Paris Hilton's house, who in real life these people broke into like 7 or 8 times. And when they first go, she simply had a key under the mat, like on the front of that. And now there's this other thing on the DVD where they talk to Paris Hilton and she says like, oh well, my house lady, she didn't have a key or something, so I left it there. Like she has this explanation for why there's a key under the mat. No, you left a fucking key under the mat.
Anyone who's ever worked at the cleaning company knows that you give them your key.
Well, yeah,
and they have it.
Anyway, so she tries to explain it away, but it's this whole like idea that it was just so easy. Like that all they had to do, like they're basically Googling where these people live and then using Google Maps to just, or like Street View, to just figure out like, oh, well, if we go through the trees here, we can just get into their house. And the other thing that makes them sort of sympathetic is when they go, especially at first, they're not taking anything they're not stealing. Well, the first house they steal some cash, but when they go to the celebrity houses, they're just stealing like some dresses that they think are cool, or like just little things, or there's this really
those dresses are probably
but they're not stealing them to sell them. They're stealing them because they want to taste that little bit of celebrity, like they want to be a part of that world, and that's where like the sort of smart of this movie comes out, where the neat ideas, it's not just a heist movie, it's touching on this whole idea of celebrity. And I think what's kind of gross and what's really cool watching the extra features on this, where they go and they talk to, like, there's this whole, they actually film it in Paris Hilton's house, because I guess Sofia Coppola like hangs out at parties at Paris Hilton's house. I don't know. But she like walks you through her actual house. And the interesting thing here is that you're watching these people who are extremely vain and greedy, and they're going to these people's houses and stealing this stuff because they want to be a part of this like famous world, and they're stealing from these people who are exactly the same. Like the celebrities themselves are just as vain and greedy, and like it's a very bizarre and interesting movie. It's not like I'm not moved by it. I don't think it's terribly important. I think the sort of story that they tell, they try to make it into this story. It's structured very much like Social Network, where you're sort of jumping back and forth in time and seeing bits of like what they say after they've been caught. And it's also structured around this one friendship and the way that friendship builds and falls apart as they do this. I don't really care as much about that friendship though. So it's a movie that's more interesting than it is entertaining. But still, I think worth a watch. I think I rented it at Redbox. It's worth $1.
It's $1.20 now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's $1.20.
Jack it. 20% raise. That's a lot.
Yeah, $1.40 or $2.40 because I usually forget the first day.
I actually, one of the girls who like was in that little ring had a reality show on E! For a little while.
Did you watch it?
I did.
It was called.
It was
pretty wild.
Yeah. It was like this mother. You saw where these girls got their ideas, because this mother homeschooled them.
Yeah, in the secret.
In the secret. So basically said, anything that you really want, you deserve, and that you will get.
Yeah. When it's Judd Apatow's wife, Leslie Mann. Leslie Mann plays that mom in the movie, and she's great and like creepy and weird, and yeah.
Like it was just good. It was the worst, because there was one scene in the show when they are driving to the court date, and I don't know, I'm not a parent, but I would like to hope that when I become a parent, if I ever have a daughter who is caught doing something like this, driving her to the courthouse, I will have zero sympathy for her.
Yeah.
Like you get to pay for what you did. This is a learning experience. But when they're in the car, the girl goes, "Mom, I need a Xanax. Mom, I need a Xanax. Mom, I need," and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Oh yeah. Like, oh no, she's horrible. Oh, and that's the thing. So it's Emma Stone plays that person, like that young woman, and she is
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson. I mean, yeah, sorry. Emma Watson, and I don't know if Emma Watson is not very good, or these people actually behave like the dumbest people ever.
They do.
And that's
They
like
do.
watching the documentaries afterwards, I realized like, oh no, they really are just fucking stupid.
Fuck, we're still talking about the bling ring?
Yeah. It's
No, there's a
People
reason.
listening didn't see Ryan get out of the room, go get a soda, and
Yeah,
come back
yeah, that's
during this
true.
discussion. So that's what that comment's about.
Anyway, well, actually, honestly, I was ready to move on, but because you got up and left, I had to string it along.
No, and there's a reason. Like even like the shittiest reality shows get a second season. I don't think that one did.
oh no, because they all went to jail. Like, the show was being filmed when this happened and when that came out, so she literally had to go to jail for 30 days or 60 days of the show. So yeah,
At
they
least
didn't
she
get
can
a
find
sequel.
Xanax in jail.
Yep. Anyway, that's what I saw.
Someone in jail's probably hiding it up their butt.
Yeah.
Oh, and I did watch.
Totally.
I rewatched Olympus Has Fallen with my folks this week.
Nice.
Whoever cut that trailer should be fired. Like that movie worked really well for my parents because they didn't know that Ashley Judd was going to die, and like
I can't believe she's only in the movie for like 5 minutes.
I know.
What happened to her career?
It's supposed
Crash
to
and
be
burned like her husband's racing career.
Oh, I think
Oh.
it's supposed to be like a Drew Barrymore, Scream kind of thing, where you don't necessarily know she's in the movie, and then you're surprised that she dies so quick. But not
I
if
thought
it's
it'd be
in
cool
the
if she
fucking
came
trailer.
back and was like the bad guy.
Yeah,
They never recovered her body.
yeah.
It was just too cold that day. And then she turns around in the chair and be like, "Oh fuck, it's his wife."
Yeah.
She knows how her husband thinks, so she's able to be the villain and battle him.
Yep. And he can't kill her because he loves her so much. Practically writes itself, guys. Any real news this week, James?
Yeah, we got some stuff.
Yeah.
So
Then whatever.
Let's talk Breaking Bad after the end of the show,
okay.
like in the spoiler section.
Well, how long are you guys gonna take to talk Breaking Bad?
It'll take about 13 seconds for me to go, oh fuck that thing, and then
Okay, speak quietly, real into the microphone, and I will go start some laundry because I still have laundry to do.
okay,
What laundry do you have to do? Jeez.
she's got to wash my shirt.
I have some things I haven't washed yet.
Okay, so wait just a second.
Hang on. Yeah.
Here, just get real close to me. Just get close to me, Brad. Oh,
Okay, I know Ryan sent us to commercial, but we're going to interject with the Breaking Bad minute. Laura can't listen to this. This is why we're talking really quietly, but
Yeah.
James and I really have to talk about Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Ozymandias.
Yeah. It's a brilliant episode. It's directed by Ryan Johnson, who was fantastic. I really love the shot when
He tweeted something of ours.
Shut up over there.
I really love the shot when he's backing the truck down the driveway and pushing the Aztec. Is that what it is? The old car. Anyway, it's
No,
just,
the
it
Aztec's
feels like
dead,
a-
dude.
Oh, that's right. It just feels like a very iconic like end of this show shot. I loved it, and it made me so happy Ryan Johnson was directing it, and he made that baby cry.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Although I think more impressive is the acting of Bryan
Yeah.
Cranston trying to fake that phone call,
Oh,
trying to
yeah,
build
yeah.
himself up as even more as Heisenberg and
Yeah.
taking the blame off of his wife and family.
I really love. So super spoilers right now, guys. But when Hank gets shot in the face, and then Shh.
God, that was so loud.
Oh my god, there's so much fart right now.
That was a real fart in the microphone.
It smells like puke and farts in here.
Ryan hates Breaking Bad so much he's never even watched it.
He's never even watched it. But when Bryan Cranston like just is crushed, and he puts on the quintessential like sad face from like the drama masks, where his mouth does like that
Yeah.
weird oblong frown, and then he just falls on the ground. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And
I read it-
and then that moment, like when he calls Jesse out from
yeah.
under the car, and he doesn't condone him or he doesn't condemn him. He just nods, and you're just like, oh fuck, man.
Did you? I read something today that said like him, like when he's changing Holly in the bathroom and Holly calls out for Mama, it's like the death of Heisenberg because he finally gets kind of his humanity back.
I'm waiting, because I was talking to somebody today, and they were saying that like they don't feel like they have any sympathy left for him, and I'm waiting. I know that there's going to be, especially now that we know where Jesse is. I just know there's in that future, like super hairy beard future, where he's running around getting Reisman. There's got to be a redeeming moment where we get just a little glimpse back into Walt. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm supposed to learn from the story of Walt.
I think that was it. I mean, he's still a bad guy. But
I don't know. Because here's the thing. Like, yeah.
But
I don't think that giving.
huh?
I don't think that giving Holly back is enough because I'm pretty sure this is my prediction for the last 2 episodes. Skylar's gonna fucking off herself. Like I thought Skylar was gonna kill herself when she got in the knife. Like I think Skylar is, especially after the scene with Flynn in the car and what he says to her. I don't think that Skylar is going to survive, and not because somebody else kills her. That's my big prediction.
But I was just saying, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't see that happening, but yeah, who knows?
I could be wrong. But if
it's
I'm
at a
right,
point where I don't know what's going to happen next. Obviously, he's going to shoot or rice in somebody, most likely Uncle Jack and Jesse. But
I can't believe there's 2 more episodes left because, like, I thought the whole season was just going to be about Hank hunting him. So, like, now what?
Now, yeah.
Also, Ozymandias is the best name of an episode, like, ever. Like, that's oh my gosh. Everything about that poem.
He's the Watchmen, too.
God damn it. We're not done.
Everything about that poem is that episode.
Have you seen that YouTube clip where Bryan Cranston reads that poem over clips of the episode?
No.
It's pretty awesome.
But I know that poem really well, so.
So, yeah, here's looking forward to 2 more awesome episodes of Breaking Bad, which are apparently longer.
Yeah, they're
75
so it's really
minutes.
like 3 episodes. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's great.
Anyway, let's go to commercial.
Oh, God, that's awesome.
My man spider sense is tingling.
Hey, look, it's Man Spider.
How's it going, true believers? When I'm swinging through Colorado and I need comic books, I head to Arvada, Colorado, to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics.
Oh, no, the teal troll is attacking me.
My son's in danger. Will no one help him?
Oh no, it's Man Spider.
Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, the whips the competition with great deals on back issues, 50% off, hold slot, 20% off list price. You want sports memorabilia? They got that too.
Where are you going, Man Spider? The teal troll still has my son.
Here's web in your eye.
Oh no, I'm bested by Man Spider again.
So visit 6700 Wadsworth Boulevard in Arvada, Colorado, and tell them the Real Nerd sent you.
Hello, Real Nerds listeners. I'm Mac.
And I'm Idiot Chittix.
And we're here to tell you to visit SphrixesDomain.com. Why should you visit SphrixesDomain.com?
Well, it's simple. If you like farts and cartoons and bad words and stuff, you should definitely visit SphrixesDomain.com.
How do you spell that address I see?
What? I don't know. Fucking S something. I don't know. I'm incontinent. I have no idea.
Fine, I'll do it. S P H E
Sure.
R
Oh god. Seriously, you gonna
X
spell the whole thing out?
S
Oh
D.
god, just say the domain part. I don't want to be here all night. Jesus. Does it get any more of a complicated website name? Stupid asshole Spurks. Jesus.
Anyway, visit our website where you can read about all the funny adventures of 7 aliens struggling to live together in an abandoned warehouse in Denver.
Well, what? That's it? What? It doesn't say anything about my crazy hijinks or antics or... What? Ridiculous.
Nope, that's all Spurks wrote down.
Well, that doesn't sound funny at all. But you know what does sound funny? Gross.
Oh man, I'm hungry
God.
again.
Oh, it's so disgusting. Oh, Spurks is gonna be pissed when he sees what you did to his office.
Hey, what are you guys doing in my office? It smells like puke and farts in here.
Go to SpurksDomain.com. Bye.
SpurksDomain.com.
For barbecue that can't be beat, try Birdman Barbecue Sauce. Available and original and spicy. These robust, full-flavor sauces have the awesome power to kick your taste buds in their face. And for that smoking taste on everything you eat, try new Birdman Smokin' Rub. Caution! Meat left unrubbed may suffer from flavor performance anxiety. You can pick up Birdman Barbecue at local area Ace Hardware stores, Ruff's Barbecue in Golden, and the Danny Cash Hot Shop off Broadway. You can also like us on Facebook at Birdman BBQ.
Real news now.
It's real news!
Somebody died.
Oh, of course. James's go-to lead-off story.
Well, okay, this guy isn't
This will
a
get people's
movie
attention.
person.
Death.
This is not a movie person, but I figured you guys are big Nintendo fans. Like I figured
love
you would care
Nintendo.
about this. So I'm sorry in advance. Hiroshi Yamauchi died this week. Who was he made Nintendo get into games, which is why
And he didn't care about them.
well, yeah. But
He also owned the Mariners, I found out.
Yeah.
the
Nintendo does.
Mariners?
Seattle
if
Mariners.
If you watch their
Oh.
highlights on ESPN, they're like
He never went to a game either.
their advertisements behind home plate are always Nintendo DS or now 3DS.
Yeah. Even when the team traveled to Tokyo, he's like, I'll just watch it from my penthouse or whatever.
So HBO has picked up The Leftovers, which is the show from Damon Lindelof. They're going to get a whole series, which I'm really excited about. That I like that book.
A
and
whole
I like
show
Damon
about
Lindelof.
what's in your fridge?
No,
Same.
you son of
Hopefully it's not Meatloaf. Meatloaf fucking sucks.
a no. It's a post-rapture sort of book. It's like Left Behind, but without all of the not very subtle hints. Thanks, Kirk Cameron.
So this is the end?
Yes, it's exactly like there's a lot of demon rape.
Sweet.
This week, okay, this next thing is not actually about what this is about. So this week we found out that Josh Lucas is going to come back to Fast
It
and
says
Furious.
Lucas Black right there.
Sorry, Lucas Black, not Josh. Yeah, Lucas Black, who's the guy from Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
He's going to
Yeah.
come back into the new Fast and Furious movies. That's not the news. The news is that the title for this article addresses the idea that there will not just be a 7, but an 8 and a 9. This is the first time that I've ever seen anybody say Fast and Furious 7, 8, and 9.
Those movies keep making money, so not surprised.
The future just keeps looking brighter and brighter. They are postponing The Good Dinosaur as well as Finding Nemo by a year, which interestingly means that next year... Finding Dory, sorry. By a year, meaning that next year there's not going to be a Pixar movie.
I don't know what we're going to do.
Well, we're going to go see the Leica movie, what is it, The Box Trolls, and hopefully that'll be the best animated movie of the year.
Hopefully.
It means that this is Leica's chance. Leica has a chance to win an Oscar for best animated movie, and it's next year.
Well, I bet DreamWorks or Sony Animation are going to be foaming at the mouth for that one too, though.
Yeah, but
Shrek 5, anyone?
Yeah, great.
I forgot there's 4 Shreks.
Yep.
Next year we do get the How to Train Your Dragon, but ooh, I honestly don't have enough faith that that's going to be better than the original, and it would have to be, you know. I really like How to Train Your Dragon, but
Yeah, isn't How to Train Your Dragon one of your favorite films from a couple years ago?
yeah, no, it was. I really loved that movie.
You just said I liked that movie. Isn't my top 10 from 2010, but
well,
meh.
where I was going is I think that on an artistic level, where the Oscars are concerned, I think Leica usually would
They
put in
should.
a lot more work and probably deserve it more.
Mhm.
I'm just saying, I can't see DreamWorks getting that. Anyway, Kelsey Grammer is going to be in the Expendables 3. What the fuck?
Nice.
Dick.
Action star Kelsey Grammer.
Wait, you know Kelsey Grammer?
You don't like Kelsey Grammer?
Well, his ex-wife, was on Real Life of Beverly
Oh, my God.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. He moved his mistress into his New York apartment before he divorced his wife.
Hey,
Fucking
you know,
asshole.
sometimes you don't let go of one branch without getting hold of the next.
Wait, his mistress?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was fucking his mistress before he divorced his wife, so how is that any worse?
At least he was straightforward about it.
He has a cool voice. Frasier's funny.
He was okay until he moved in with her.
No, actually,
Yep.
he was just trying to get an HBO show. He wanted to make his own HBO comedy of, having his mistress move into his house with his
Well,
wife.
I'm pretty sure his ex-wife got all of his money, so
She did.
Oh, that's why he's
they
in
had
Expendables 3.
they had to sell their Colorado home though. So
Oh, no.
unfortunately for them,
Oh, that's too bad. Don't cheat on your wife. I'm actually
it has its
I'm
perks.
just talking to Ryan. Oh, you dick.
I'm gonna punch you in your dick right now.
I'm not going to stop her.
If you can find it. Oh,
Oh. Sophie, why did you owe that one? That was about your dick. Oh, Fede Alvarez, who directed Evil Dead, which we all, well, except for Brad, we all really liked. His next movie is going to be Dante's Inferno, which is that video game.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
was
that
like
poem.
the book.
I don't fucking want to see that. That game was shitty as hell.
Yeah, the epic poem. That sounds like a boring ass.
No,
movie.
that's going to be made by Ron Howard. Ron Howard is making the poem. with
the
Tom
video game
Hanks.
is just like click next, read some more, click next,
I want
read
to see
some more.
that one. I don't want to see I don't
There's,
want to
like-
see dude with a cross sewn into his chest go kill demon babies.
I do.
Eh.
Yeah. Are you?
I
Well,
wanna
no.
see- I
They're
wanna see
really
Evil
making
Dead
it.
2.
They're really making a Dante's Inferno like off the.
There will
Epic
be in a couple of
Epic
years. There will
Epic
be 2 Dante's Inferno movies. Yeah, if the Ron Howard one happens, which it may not, but because that one's a bit harder sell.
I want to see the
Whereas-
Kevin Smith Dante's Inferno.
Yeah.
I'm not even supposed to be here today. It's hot in here.
Fuck you, Satan.
And then the very last thing this week, the coming Tuesday. Oh fuck! I'm not going open screen night because I'm gonna be busy Tuesday. Watching. No, I'll go. Fuck! Don't look.
Brad
at me so
just gave him,
sad,
like,
Brad.
death
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, it's gonna punch you in your dick.
Well, anyway, Tuesday, Agents of Shield starts.
Maybe
Anyway.
I won't go.
Agents of Shield starts, which is the show based on all the Marvel movies, and it seems like
Or the
they.
Avengers.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, it's all the it's the whole Marvel
Well,
universe.
Coulson is really the only threat
Yeah.
throughout the whole movies.
Yeah, but anyway, because nobody else from whatever. So they are also talking about making an Agent Carter show if it does well. So they're going to take basically Haley Atwell's character
She
from
has nice boobs.
Captain America, and she'd be like running around, World
With
War
her
II
boobs?
times and fighting Nazis
Well,
with her
honey,
boobs.
it's what network TV.
We don't know
Well,
that yet.
hunting Nazis is always a sell for me. I'm like, if you have a movie where a chick is hunting Nazis, I'll watch it.
Well, TV show.
Yeah,
So
TV show, same
it'll
thing.
be every week you'll get to watch her hunt Nazis
That'd be sweet.
With her boobs out.
with her boobs. Well, she's
Sweet.
not going to leave them at home.
Well, let's hope she just wears like a not very supportive bra, so they move around a lot.
Well, I want to see a support bra. I want it like to be like V-necked down, like Power Girl.
Ryan, Power Girl doesn't wear a fucking
She-
V-neck.
My
it's
wife
a cutout.
goes, Ryan, and she's the one who's talking about how what kind of bra she should leave wearing the house.
I'm just saying.
you were encouraging this conversation.
It was. Yeah, Power Girl doesn't wear a V-neck, honey.
Yeah.
It's a cutout scoop neck, y'all.
I saw a lot of Power Girl once. I have pictures of a lot of Power Girl.
Oh yeah,
It still bothered me though that you could see like her bra.
I saw
down
more
her
than that.
low-cut
oh there's
top.
if you look at her website, her Facebook, and the picture with me. Oh yeah, nipping out literally.
Anyway, so that's news for this week.
Man, some movie made a shitload of money.
It
Box
did.
office stats.
This is the box office stats.
Yeah, Insidious Chapter 2 made $40 million dollars,
Yeah.
and it cost $5 million. The guy who makes that, his name's Jeremy Bloom? I forget.
Sounds
Bloomhouse.
right. Yeah.
And he makes a bunch of cheap horror movies, Sinister, Paranormal Activities. He has so much money.
Yeah.
And, like, a movie like Sinister cost $2 million. Made 50-something million dollars.
Wow.
He knows how to market movies.
Yeah, because I was just gonna say,
And The Conjuring, he
do
produced that one
you
too.
do you think that it's that Insidious 2 is better than Your Next?
No.
See, that's so fascinating. That basically release date and marketing was probably the difference between those two movies.
Oh, I think
And
marketing big
One of
time.
them, Insidious 2, is obviously a sequel to a movie that people already like, so that's a big part of it too.
you still have to create in a trailer. You have to create an atmosphere, like the trailer for the movie we saw this week.
yeah, right.
You have to sell the movie, and I don't remember seeing a trailer for Your Next until like 2 weeks before it was coming out.
Yeah.
Where
And again, we've said this before, but even when people did, it looks a lot like The Strangers or one of those movies that people have seen. So,
but it's way different. You should see Your Next.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
not only is it like pumpkin spice latte season and Shipyard Pumpkinhead season, it's horror movie season.
Your house is not decorated in orange shit yet, and I'm very disappointed. By
I know.
Actually,
I know.
I'm really happy, but I didn't expect that.
Well,
September 30th is the cutoff date. If she doesn't have stuff up by
Not for
October
her.
1st, then
Oh,
we're going to have to
Yeah.
call someone in.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no, like what happened last year is I put all my Halloween decorations up on September 1st, but then I burned through all my Halloween candles. And so I think this week I'm going to start getting my stuff out. And I'm going to make a new tablecloth, so I have to
As long
wait
as
till I
there's
do that.
candy on the table by next week, that's all I care about.
Well, there's Reese's
Yeah,
peanut
really.
butter cups.
Give me
in
some-
the
give me some-
Pumpkinhead right
We have
now.
we have a pumpkin. We have
Give
a
me-
plastic pumpkin all the time in our house.
Give me some Kit Kats, all right?
Okay, I remember that.
I expect
I have a
Kit Kats
coupon for him actually.
and M&Ms, but only the brown ones.
Oh snap! My boyfriend's releasing his new movie on Blu-ray this week. Let's check over and see what we got.
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
You're right. It's called Redemption,
Mm-hmm.
starring Jason Statham.
I
That
love
comes
Jason
out
Statham.
on DVD and Blu-ray.
Aren't you so glad he finally called our show?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
right.
was impressive.
And it's amazing. Like, he sounds just like Jason Statham, except for a couple times he sounds like me. It's awesome. I didn't know he did an impression of me.
I want him to
I
call
think he's
back.
probably making fun of you.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I want him to call back and explain to me why the fuck I've never heard
Do
of
you
this
think
movie
Jason
before.
Statham is sitting in his trailer like, do I sound like Ryan Frost yet?
Every day he's doing it in the mirror.
Yeah. No,
would
Iron
be.
Man 3 is the movie we're actually talking about. It comes out on Blu-ray
Yep.
this week.
Excited to see it again.
Which
One of
version are
the
you getting?
I got the 2-disc Blu-ray DVD one.
With the blue border?
No, the gold.
Oh.
Which one? Because there's a 3-disc version, but that comes with the 3D.
Yeah. I got the one, not that one. I got the 2-disc Blu-ray that has a gold border, not the blue border.
Because then there's
Yeah.
there's a 1-disc Blu-ray that's just the Blu-ray.
That's the one I got.
Yeah.
Because the poster art's better.
Yeah.
The one where he's like crouched down, like in the ocean, like on a piece of floating debris.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like his leg is not at the right perspective.
Yeah, it's weird. But the Disney ones, if it's a gold border, that has more special features.
Yeah.
But
I chose art over special features.
usually, like the blue border ones, they still have like a making of and a commentary.
Yeah.
I did find an ad. I gave it to Ryan. I thought he might want to buy it. I found an ad. Well, when I was clipping coupons, Walmart has like if you buy the Iron Man DVD there, you get like there's like a Eminem Iron Man short that comes with it. Was that
Yeah,
right?
like an Eminem cartoon.
Oh.
Of Iron Man.
I thought you meant like it's got a song from the new Eminem album in a short.
No,
Oh, okay.
why the little red guy?
Yeah.
I want someone to buy it because I'm curious.
It'll
How
be
awful
it'll
that
be
is.
on YouTube real quick.
Yeah.
I
I mean, no, like on this like ad, it has a picture of the red M&M in an Iron Man costume.
I'll watch it. The Kings of Summer comes out this week, which is that little indie movie that I've been chomping at the bit to see because the trailer was kind of cool. VHS 2 comes out on DVD
Did
and
you see
Blu-ray this
that?
week.
What that was though? It comes with a Blu-ray, DVD, and
Yes.
VHS tape.
Which it's funny because when I was going through it on Digital Bits, the Blu-ray is actually the least selling thing. Like the DVD and then that set sell more. And at first I was like, wait, why? And then I realized like, oh yeah, because if you're gonna buy the Blu-ray, you might as well get the version that also comes with a fucking VHS tape because that's awesome. Man. I don't know how anybody will watch it. Oh wait, you have one. Am I looking at a VHS?
No,
that's
my
your
cable
box. It's just huge.
House of the Devil did that too. You could get a VHS of House of the Devil. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
My mom has VHS.
Wasn't that in a clamshell too? Was that in like an old Disney clamshell, or was that in a regular paper sleeve?
I don't remember.
Oh no, I think it was in like those like big bulky plastic clamshells that
Yeah,
like
it was. I think you're right.
that like the
Rental stores had.
yeah or like the library, like the real cheap ones they had at
Mhm.
the library. I think it was in something like that, like not the Disney clamshells, but the
Or
real
like
ones.
if you didn't return the movie back to Blockbuster.
Yeah,
kind of
right.
thing. Yeah.
Room 237, which is the documentary about The Shining, is out this week. Doctor Who Series 7, as well as Hannibal, the first season of Hannibal, which I already have pre-ordered.
Can I borrow it and watch it?
Yeah, absolutely. Probably once I rewatch it all, because
yeah.
it's been a while. I think I want to burn through it again.
Because I kept trying. I didn't. Well, clearly I don't have my finger on the pulse like you boys do. I kept trying to find it on Hulu and stuff, and they don't have. They have like.
Yeah. Trying to
snippets
watch
here
it
and there.
after, like if you get on too late, it's really hard to.
Yeah.
You've got to catch the wave right behind. You can't catch the next wave in a wave metaphor.
and I'm
like you have to
interested-
be on the first 3 episode wave.
I'm interested to see too if they have any special features with Thomas Harris, because that'd be awesome.
I was watching.
Because I love him.
Before World War Z, they had a trailer for Hannibal, and some dude was sitting at a dinner table, and his head was all the way back, and his mouth was all open, and his tongue was hanging out.
Oh fuck! They showed you that part.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's messed up. Anyway, skipping through all the last little stuff. Modern Family has a season out this week. Hawaii Five-0, which is that show that Brad's watching. The new show.
That was an
3.
epic eye roll that we just got from Brad.
Here's one Brad actually cares about. The Dark Knight trilogy, that big Ultimate collection, comes out this week. I don't think you're actually going to buy it though. There's also a re-release of Halloween on Blu-ray.
I don't think Halloween has ever been on Blu-ray, actually.
Really?
Oh, maybe I do have the original.
It's
No,
like
I do. I have the 25th anniversary on Blu-ray.
Yeah, this one's a
maybe-
35th anniversary.
No, I must have it on DVD.
And it looks like it's in a book. It's a cool looking Blu-ray. Two Broke Girls comes out this week. The second season, I think. I don't know. I Spit on Your Grave 2, and then finally a DVD re-release of Good Burger.
What?
Good Burger, everybody.
Welcome to Good Burger. What kind
I mean,
Home
is
of
the
the Good
disc
Burger.
is it just
Whatever. Can I get
orange
your
like
order?
the Nickelodeon?
The banner at the top is orange. Yeah,
Okay.
it is definitely a DVD that looks like a Nickelodeon DVD. Remember when the VHS tapes were DVD? Like Harry the Spy was on DVD, or it was all orange.
Remember that?
You guys don't
Like
remember 'cause
the
you're too
plastic
fucking old,
cassette
but-
tape? No, I do.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I had a niece. I have a niece.
No, this
What
was like
happened
before
to her,
her time.
Ryan?
She was like a baby when that stuff came out.
Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't go to a garage sale and buy it for her.
Is that true?
Oh yeah. Well, less than that. Like you and I were little kids when Harriet the Spy came out.
When it was like super super awesome. What? Oh, I'm trying
yeah.
to think. Nickelodeon tapes were orange. Which ones were green? There were some that were bright green.
Yeah, I don't remember. Flubber.
Probably.
Anyway, that's the DVD releases this week.
Cool. Comic book corner.
What's up, nerds? It's the Comics Corner.
I want to do this week.
Fuck you, James.
No, go, come on.
Of course, we're going to talk about the end of Angel and Faith, and also, it's fun to always brag when celebrities' favorite stuff. And Christos Gage, who is the writer of Angel and Faith, favorited James's tweet about the ending of Angel and Faith.
I especially as I've been finishing it, I was a little bit behind on Angel and Faith, and I'm still a little bit behind on Buffy, so I'm catching up on that too. And something that has struck me as I think why these two seasons have been so good is, and especially Angel and Faith, is because there's really only one writer. Like
Yeah.
Christos Gage has, especially with Angel and Faith, been allowed to tell a really detailed and character-oriented story that every single issue is just fucking phenomenal.
And I love that Rebecca Isaacs stayed in through the last 10 issues.
Yeah.
And she didn't have a fill-in. Because they would do an arc for 4 or 5 issues, and they'd have a fill-in, and then the regular artist would come back. And that's why when she responded to my tweet at Denver Comic Con, that's why she didn't come to Denver Comic Con, because she was so busy trying to finish Angel and Faith. And yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, man.
It's fascinating.
It's I will go so far as to say I think it's one of the best overall stories that's ever been told in that universe. I think the whole story of, and spoilers for what's going on in that book, but the whole story of Giles being dead and Angel and Faith trying to bring him back, and all of the stuff that Faith goes through, because I never used to like Faith. And this book has turned Faith into one of my favorite characters. I mean, the book really is about her in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And the thing I tweeted at Christos Gage was this image, picture that I took of one of the panels where Giles and Faith are up on the roof, and they're just talking about like the way that she has to sort of grieve through all the things that she's been through, and is so powerful. And like, you know, especially comics that are like superhero genre comics, they don't get a lot of chances to just tell stories like this and just flat out say things the way that characters will like teach you.
And what I really like too about the last arc is, I mean, it really reached its climax in the 4th issue. What happened in the 5th issue was like letting the dust settle and these characters figuring out everything they wanted to do. And there was a great exchange for a couple pages between Faith and Angel about how,
at the very end,
how Faith is going to leave,
Yeah.
and Angel doesn't want her to leave, but then he understands. It's really great.
It was heartbreaking in a lot of ways, because it was them saying like, "Hey, this book, there's not going to be another one of these.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to do Angel and Faith season 9. Like, that's not happening, or season 10. And that bums me out.
Well, in the letter pages, they said that they got together and were hammering it out. Now, I'm not sure it'll be
Well,
Angel
but
and Faith.
there will probably be like an Angel book and a Faith book and a Buffy book, and I will read all 3 of them. But yeah, I think this was real special, and makes me. I want to go out there and find everything Christos Gage is writing and
He
has
wrote
written.
Spider-Man.
I want to go find that stuff because it's not even just how well crafted the overall story is. One thing that stands out to me is there's a line where Giles is it's like right after one of the prepubescent Giles jokes where like I think it's like the page or two
Faith.
after either where he hugs Faith and things get awkward, or like where he looks down, Faith goes to say something to her, and there's just this panel of him staring down her shirt. It's one of those two, and he says something like, oh man, I feel like I am a prisoner in my own body, and it just doesn't do what I want it to, and I feel completely alien and incapable in my world now that I'm young. And the guy he's talking to is his old friend, and he's like, oh yeah, and that's what getting old feels like.
Yeah.
And like just little lines where throwaway characters can say things like that, like that's where I think Christos Gage really shines.
And what's really cool is finding Giles's voice in that little person's body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the young Giles, but it still sounds like Giles when you read it.
Yeah.
Is great.
And he gets that character really correct, because when Giles does come back, we've spent all this time and been to different worlds trying to get this character back, and so when he is fun and wise and all of the things that we feel like we've been missing, and we remember like, oh yeah, he really is the heart of this whole book, or of this whole like show. And that is why we need him back.
What's so cool is, it's in a world without magic, and now, because I'm 2 issues away from being caught up on Buffy.
Yeah.
And Buffy's has been really good for a while, too.
Yeah.
Because there's consequences for no magic being around, because Dawn is created from magic, and so she's starting to fade from existence.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of interesting on it, too, where they're all starting to tie it back together. And
I really, man... If Rebecca Isaacs comes to DCC next year, I want to like tweet her and be like, "Hey, you got to convince Christos Gage to come too," because I want to talk to one of those writers and find out like when did this whole plan to keep one main writer on the book come together, and was there really a discussion of that? Because in the last season, like Brad Meltzer wrote, I felt like the majority of those arcs, certainly the ones that were about the Twilight story arc, but. Looking back at it, I do feel like it suffered because there were so many writers.
I agree.
But at the same time, like, how can you fight against, like, Jane Espenson writing an issue, a run, or Brian K. Vaughan? Like,
I mean, the thing with season 8 is I think it was just, you're right, too many people in the pot. Not that I actually thought season 8 was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I do too.
But it's just too many. But now that you have a single vision in it, it makes the books more cohesive.
Yeah.
And lots of fun.
It would be really exciting to me to see them go get, somebody like a Jane Espenson or a Marty Noxon, or one of those writers who's written the show before, and give them a whole season of the book, and say like, hey, we want you to write, or even if they just came on like as an overall plot person, and let them really play around in that universe again. That would be really cool.
And I'm so grateful that you. Because I was reading Buffy, and you told me to get Angel and Faith maybe after the 3rd issue.
Yeah, it was early.
And so I went back and I got him. I fell in love, and then I fell in love with Rebecca Isaacs' art.
Yeah,
because her lines are just so clean, and her art is so well done that I hope she comes to DCC too, because I really want to commission her to do a Green Goblin so bad.
Yeah,
because I love her lines, and she's such a great artist. So I'm interested to see what she does next, because she's done superheroes, she's done Buffy now. It'll be fun.
This ended up being one of my favorite comic book series that I've ever read, and that's out of the Preachers and the Wise that I've read, and I am supremely sad to see it go.
Yep,
man.
But thank you for introducing it, and thanks Christos Gage for favoriting our tweets. Yeah. I'm the one who started following him, so you can thank me for him finding out about us too.
Yeah.
Just kidding, but I really did.
Yeah, I know.
But no, it's awesome. I love the fanboy in me always takes over every once in a while.
What's really gorgeous is the hardback versions that they do of all the Buffy books, and I haven't seen them yet for the Angel and Faith books. I know I've seen the trades.
Yeah,
hopefully they're
the
gonna.
hardback, yeah.
I don't think they started doing the hardbacks for season 8 until. For
season
season
8, I think the last one just came out.
Yeah, I don't think they started until the season was over. So hopefully now that Angel and Faith is over, they'll start doing the hardback. So if you haven't read any of this, no matter how many times we talked about it, keep your eyes open for that, or just go to Colorado Coins and Comics and pick up the trades for 20% off.
I think that makes them $10. So
oh yeah,
so
like it's hard to.
worth it.
It's hard to pass up.
Because they're hard to find because, it wasn't a very big book, so there's only like 3 or 4 issues of each issue at each comic store.
Yeah.
So you should definitely pick it up.
Man.
So this week, we went and saw Prisoners, starring Hugh the Wolverine, X-Men Jackman. Laura, should people go see The Prisoners?
Yes, but I wish you're just seeing it home just so you can have like your blankie or your little doggy, because there were parts of it that it was physically uncomfortable that it was so tense. And I wish I was at home on my couch.
Brad?
I thought it was really gay. Like, really gay.
Like superhero gay?
No, it's actually really intense. It is a good movie. You should see it.
James?
Yeah, absolutely. But be forewarned that you will probably walk out of this movie feeling like somebody has beat you up with a CRT television set. Because that's how I felt. I literally got in the car and had like a visceral reaction where I felt like I had been trapped for a while. And when I was so ecstatic to be in my car and driving away. It was a really bizarre... I don't think I've ever had that feeling before.
Yeah, I agree. I think it has maybe the best performance by an actor this year.
Oh.
By 2 actors. Hugh
yeah.
Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal are really good in this
Definitely
movie.
in the running, yeah.
So here's the trailer for The Prisoners. Or is it just Prisoners?
It's just Prisoners.
Just Prisoners.
It's like Watchmen. It's about prisoners.
Yes, of all kinds. Yeah, here's the trailer.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Can I take Joy to our house?
Wear a hat, please. You're just getting over a cold.
Where are your sisters?
I can't find them.
Anna? Joy?
I checked the entire house. They're not here.
They weren't outside. It's starting to rain, I think. Dad, there was this RV, and they were playing on it. We thought there was someone inside.
You wait here.
Let me go. I couldn't find them.
911.
Detective Loki.
Do you have children, detective?
I'm gonna find your daughters.
Caller reported an RV was parked at a rest stop off Route 46.
Show me your hands. Where'd you put those girls? Where are they?
What do you got?
We didn't find anything. This thing's clean.
That boy has never been in trouble a day in his life.
They're letting him go.
What?
The police said they're letting him go today.
Why aren't you sending someone out to go arrest this guy?
Well, he has the IQ of a 10-year-old. There's no way he could abduct 2 girls and then make them disappear.
Maybe he wasn't on his own.
We're considering all possibilities.
I don't think you are considering all possibilities.
Just let me do my job.
4 days have passed since Anna Dover and Joy Birch were last seen by their families.
I have 9 level 3 offenders living within a 10-mile radius.
Keep knocking on doors.
Mind if I take a look around? Why don't you tell me his name?
He said he took them.
Did he say he was with anybody?
We found something.
Every day she's wondering why I'm not there. Me, not you. Not you. But me.
What in the world did you do? Someone has to make him talk, or they're gonna die. 5 days we got now. We're running out of time.
You don't even know that it's him.
He left him with someone, and he knows where this guy is.
Why aren't you telling me?
This ain't right.
Why?
This guy's a fake. The girls are still out there.
So the movie, if you didn't get from the trailer, is about 2 girls that are kidnapped.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman plays the father of one, and Terrence Howard plays the father of the other. And Viola Davis is one wife, and
Maria Bello
is the other one. Paul Dano is their number 1 suspect. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Detective Loki. And it's all intertwined, and this movie is very intense. Right away, I think it's cool because it's a hard sell for some people because the movie's really quiet, it moves really slowly. But at the same time, you kind of fall in love with these characters at the beginning because, they're going over to Thanksgiving, and it just feels really natural. It feels like something everybody does.
Yeah.
And
well, I do want to say, I don't think this is too much spoilers this early on, but the kidnapping happens pretty early. Like the
first,
Thanksgiving
20 minutes.
scene is not really that long, and so I think really I realized I was falling in love with the characters as I watched sort of the early grieving stages that they went through. Not even just the first searching, but like when it first started to settle in that this was happening to them, those scenes and those moments were the times where I was like, oh, I really care about the, it wasn't that I loved that family in that first scene. It was that I loved that family when I watched them get broken.
It's such a cool movie too, because what makes these movies difficult, whether it's Seven or this movie, is sometimes Zodiac is, who the villain is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know where it's going to go. But this movie, I was kind of taken aback because no character had. The only characters that seemed kind of know what was going on was Hugh Jackman's character. But at the same time, you're like, something's not right with this guy.
Yeah.
But at the Detective Loki, Jake Gyllenhaal's character, he was so different. I'm like, is he the bad guy? Is he the the guy setting everybody up to take his fall? And Paul Dano plays a kid he's a man who has the IQ of a 10-year-old. And there's a really intense interrogation scene with Detective Loki, and what's his name in it? Is Alex.
Alex. Yeah.
And if you want to feel the intensity of the scene, we'll go ahead and play it for you right now.
I recognize these girls.
I didn't see them. May I sit down?
What do you do in the RV? Answer my questions.
Sleep there.
You sleep in there? You were sleeping out there during the day? Why was the RV parked outside the house?
I went for a drive.
You went for a drive? You weren't driving. I know for a fact those girls were playing outside your RV. You weren't driving. It was parked. Was it a special day? Were you planning on taking 2 little girls?
No.
Have you done that before?
No.
Did you ask them to come inside?
No.
You asked them to come inside the RV and then you take them away?
No.
Did you put those girls somewhere?
May I sit down?
Come on. Did you put those girls somewhere?
Don't touch me.
I know you put those girls somewhere.
And it's cool the way they play off each other, because Paul Dano, those characters are always hard to play because they can come across as really cheesy.
Yeah.
But the way he plays it with such, I don't know.
There's a certain...
He's creepy and innocent at the same time.
Yeah, you don't...
He's good at that as an actor.
He doesn't portray a character that you feel like you can put in a box. He's not... It's not a version of... Oh, shit. It's not a version of... wow, that was really bad. I did not mean to make that pun. It's not a version of that kind of character, of that kind of person that I feel like I've seen before. And so anytime he was talking and answering questions, I didn't know whether or not to believe him, or if he was or if he was perfectly realistic. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and when I guess this isn't really spoilers.
And we're past the trailer anyway, so
you find out later on that Alex is not who he seems to be, and then he also has suffered like a ginormous trauma throughout his life. He is a huge victim in this.
Yeah.
And so I wonder if, because they said he is the IQ of a 10-year-old, but also after this extremely traumatic event happened, that he didn't speak.
Mm-hmm.
I always wondered.
Well, I don't know. He also picked up a doggy and was hanging the doggy with a leash.
Oh yeah, man. That scene
no, I mean
just...
that scene was fucked up. At the same time, like given what he's been through, can you imagine having any?
No. I totally
respect
understand
for life.
Like that's the thing. Like that character. Once you figure out who that character really is,
it makes sense.
Then it makes sense.
Yeah.
But when you're first seeing it, like
the
way he relates to the world around him, it's just weird.
Yeah. I think that he... Really, honey?
I'll let you go on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Put your mic down. It's okay. I think in this situation, well, it happens a lot of times where people, they think that he's stupid. They think that he just doesn't understand. No, he understands. He is totally with it. But because he has a very hard time communicating these things, and he is, secretly very aggressive because he's so angry.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's also been like drugged and tortured for 26 years.
Yeah.
So we don't really know whether or not he's all there.
That's true. I do not believe that he was as daft as they would have us believe.
Oh, no.
Well, no, that was the breaking point for Hugh Jackman's character, where, he was released from jail, and he thought he said something to him, so he goes and stakes out his house, and then you see him walk out, and he seems like, he's just this fucked up kid.
Oh, fuck,
And then he comes out, and he starts, like, fucking with that dog.
Yeah.
And you can see, because Hugh Jackman is so great in this movie, you can see his attitude change.
Yeah.
He's like, no, this motherfucker did something to my kid. And then the Prisoners comes in because, he takes that kid prisoner.
Yeah.
And he beats the shit out of that kid.
Yeah.
To get him to talk.
I mean, there is a point at which he says, like, if I hurt him anymore, I'll kill him. So I have to find other ways to torture him. Like you're like, fuck you, and it's such a bizarre line to draw because I don't always I disagree with the things Hugh Jackman is doing, and yet there's a part of me that's like, I understand why you're doing this. Like. It's very much, I end up feeling the way that maybe Terrence Howard does, not in the way that I would condone or help. But,
I would.
I would not.
But where, like, I'm watching this happen and I feel like, okay, this is the wrong thing to do, but I don't know how it, like, I understand where you're coming from. Because all he's trying to do is do something. Mm-hmm. He has no control in this situation, but he has to do something. It's why, you talk about him turning in such a brilliant performance. You can't help but sympathize with him, especially once you see that scene in the car with Loki.
Oh, that's my favorite scene in the movie.
He just fucking screams at Loki and says, like, you don't understand. Like, you're doing your best to save her, fine, but she's not waiting for you. Like, she's out there waiting for me to show up and save her.
What I love about when I see a trailer and they have, like, clips from the scene from it.
Yeah.
But when you watch it and the scene's so much longer and he's so much more
powerful,
and where he's. I mean, there's that scene where he takes, he's torturing Paul Dano by punching him, and then he takes the hammer.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Do you want me to do this to you?" And he's breaking the fucking sink.
When it's so intense, because you're like, "Holy shit, we're gonna watch him break this dude's hand in half."
It's amazing, and
in that scene, a great performance from Terrence Howard, where he is there, and then, like, the look on his face after the hammer's in the wall and Paul Dano's on the floor and no one has actually been hurt, but Terrence Howard just, like, sits down, watches Hugh Jackman leave, and then looks at the hammer.
Yeah, because
you're just
that's
like, fuck.
That's
what
not
do
an
you do?
easy part to play. Where, because obviously it's the Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal movie, where those two guys are the ones who you're focusing on. So to play a supporting role in that, you got to be really good, and he was really good in it.
And it's a dynamic character. Like he has to make you understand that he
doesn't condone it, and he's
doesn't
scared
agree
of it.
with
It's
it,
crazy.
but like is willing to help because he can't. And fucking Viola Davis, who is always fantastic when she has that scene where she comes to Paul Dano and, like, begs him to help, and she hates the fact that they're doing it, but again knows that there's no other, like, she has to condone it. Like, it's fucked up.
And what's too, as you watch the movie, there's clues throughout the whole movie, and as they reveal the plot at the end, you're like, oh yeah, they said all this stuff.
It's a really good mystery.
They said all this stuff, and I love the relationship that Loki has with his captain, where he's like, do your fucking job.
Yeah.
When you have something new, come fucking talk to me. And I didn't understand why he had such disrespect for him, though. It was really interesting because you never see that. And I thought, was the captain the guy who's killing these kids? Because he wanted Loki to not be able to solve a murder or something, and it's pretty fascinating.
It's a great mystery where they give you a lot of clues along the way that like that certain things happen because they show you, like, the guy sneaking into the house. So there are certain things that that Loki doesn't. There are clues that you've put together that Loki hasn't. And then when Loki starts putting them together, you're like, well, wait, I don't actually know what's going on. like
that was not our scene. I understand the connection, but what does it mean?
Yeah. Like, you don't know why these things are happening, but you have the clues.
I was seriously terrified when Loki gets to that one guy's house, and there's that room with all the boxes, and I thought there was going to be, like, dead children in those boxes.
I know, me too.
I was like, fuck.
And then there were snakes, and I was more terrified. Like, you were sitting next to me, like, he'd open those fucking boxes full of snakes, and I was just like, bah!
I know. It's fun seeing my wife in my peripheral, because every time she'd, like, go, and she'd get all intense and emotional.
When the boxes would open?
Or
just throughout the movie?
Throughout the movie, when those... Because in my wife's head, I think she was thinking the same thing I was.
Yeah.
And when she saw those boxes and he started calling out their names, she's like, no. And she, like, put up her her hands, and she was so afraid that those children would be in there.
Oh yeah. Because like, part of this movie is methodical. It takes its time. I mean, it's 2.5 hours long, but I guess by the time it was over, I realized it didn't feel that way. But it does feel long. But there's so much going on, and it is paced so masterfully that like you really kind of feel trapped in this situation.
No, you do, because it's like, for me, I felt like I want this to end because this is uncomfortable.
Yeah, like I wanted them to find these kids just so I can stop feeling like I'm living in a world where no one can find these children.
Like, and I was just like, I know, like it's probably gonna end okay, everything's gonna be fine, but I'm like, I don't want to find out because it's gonna be fucking terrible, but I do because I want it to be done. Like,
yeah, there does get a point, like, and probably there, like in the snake boxes scene, where I think there are a few moments where you're kind of like, I almost wish they would just find these kids dead so we could be done. Like, and it's so, but at the same time, there are sections where I was telling you guys when I was over, because we went to the Alamo, and the Alamo brings you your check at 45 minutes before the movie was over, and it's sort of a bad meta thing, because then you have some idea that the third act is starting, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. And this is one of those movies where I was praying they wouldn't bring the check, because we needed way more time than 45 minutes in order to resolve everything that was going on. Man,
Brad, what'd you think?
I liked how it unraveled itself very slowly. There were times where I was like, when are we going to get to like a significant plot development?
Yeah.
But, there's such great acting and such great scenes. You just go along with it. The whole, the way the villain at the end explains herself in a very Bond villainy kind of way was kind of...
you mean the line about, this is how we make our war with God?
Yeah, and just that whole, like, almost everything from her scene where she just explained, like, yeah, we used to kidnap the kids, and, like, just to explain away at gunpoint, where it's like...
Yeah.
She could have just... The movie spent so much time being very realistic, like, existing in a real world, whereas I feel in a real world she would have just shot him in the kitchen. She's obviously had no problem, like, covering up kids in her house for 5 days.
But part of it too, like if she just wanted kids to disappear, she would have just shot them. But she drugs them and keeps them like under basically conscious sedation.
And then Hugh Jackman drinks the drug soda, but he never like passes out or nothing. Which I guess he didn't drink enough.
Well, we don't know. We don't really see him in that hole.
I was hoping he'd take that bottle and throw it at her. Let's go all Hugh Jackman on him.
He'd be like, snicked, and then he'd just, fuck you, Melissa Leo.
Well, and from what, like, it was ketamine, and they mentioned one other drug, which they use in conscious sedation, where you're, like, they use it for procedures that are uncomfortable, but you still want the person to be able to, like, respond and, move a certain way. So they would be aware of their surroundings, but probably not be able to articulate stuff and probably not remember what was going on, which is why, like, the little girl had, like, bits and pieces of what happened, but not, she wasn't totally with it.
Did you know, and this is like where the spoiler wall is gone now, like this is it. Did you know when the little girl woke up and looked at Hugh Jackman and was like, you were there, did you have any idea what was going on? Like, could you explain like why? But I thought that was terrifying. So all of a sudden, all the pieces I thought I'd put together and that I thought I had a grip on this, when that little girl looked at Hugh Jackman and was terrified, I was like, I don't know anymore. Like, because I didn't want it to be revealed that, like, oh, well, the dad was doing it, or that Hugh Jackman was the bad guy. I had a moment, honestly, when she goes to his house, when he shows up and he's got, like, the tool belt, because the cut there is so weird. I had a moment where I was like, it's the fucking Prestige. There's Hugh Jackman is twins, and one of them is crazy evil, and he's running around killing kids, looking like his brother. Like, I really
no. I was just sitting there going like, how does she escape? How does she explain it already? How does she escape?
Well, to me, I thought that. I mean, I went two ways. If you said you were there, I'm like, oh man, did Hugh Jackman kidnap him?
Right.
And then he showed up at that lady's house. I'm like, oh, he's gonna fucking kill that lady.
Yeah, that's what I thought
because it's that dude's mom. But then he figured it all out.
Yeah. Well, but it took me like maybe until she had him at gunpoint outside before I realized, like, oh, she drugged him with the stuff he was drinking at her house, and that's how like she then made him go in and like tape the kids, and that's how she did it, and that's why like she saw, her at the house, and how he put that together. Like, it took me way too long to figure out like what the connection was there and how he figured it out. And I don't know if that's a failure of the movie to keep me in line with what it was doing, or if it was just that, hey, we want you to continue to not be comfortable. Because that
no, when she said like I saw you there, I was like, oh, well, he was in the house and they were in a room and they saw him there.
His voice, and that's all that.
Yeah, or at least heard his voice.
Yeah, but we get that shot like of her perspective. When there's that really creepy sound that happens, and then like from her sort of perspective where we see the bottles, and then like there's two people walking through the room. I think like that's what I thought I saw.
I'll have to watch because I didn't get like I got it of like the little girl heard his voice.
But she says you put tape on her mouth. Like she says,
I don't know. I have to watch it again.
I think that's what happens. I think that when he's at her house talking to her, like when she's doing the whole spiel about like this is where Alex came from and my son died of cancer and all that, and that's why I'm a crazy pants. That stuff he was drinking, we didn't see it, but he passed out, and then she made him do stuff, and then he didn't remember that she made him do it. That's what I thought was happening. Now I got to see it again.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. The other thing is, I was trying to figure out like when Loki's looking up to find out what's significant about the house that he's going to. There's this like on a newspaper cutout of like this officer who killed himself at that house, and have been like trying to figure out all night like how he made that connection to like because he realized like, oh, this whole time this is what should have been checking out. Early on in the movie, the son is wondering why they don't rent out that house, and I just realized that it's not because it's a fixer-upper, it's because that's Hugh Jackman's dad who shot himself, and he doesn't want to...
Oh, I never put that together.
I think that's what it is.
That weirded me out too.
Yeah.
I didn't get... that was one of those things, I think it was just maybe the way it was shot or something, and that when I'm supposed to read... Is the fucking house going to take off?
Yeah.
The whole place is shaking.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Anytime I put... Well, this is a weird conversation. Anytime I put like any jeans in with any of their laundry, it makes the house feel like we're like in a spaceship.
Yeah, I know. I feel like the house is going to get hit by a train in a second. Shit, where was I? So... they do this like close up on this article, and I just felt like the whole time I felt like I was reading the wrong parts of the article. Like I was reading like the end bit, and I was like, wait, was I supposed to read the beginning? Like I don't know what part I'm supposed to pay attention to.
Yeah, he gets the address from the end part, and you're just like, okay, well, I don't know why he went and found this story to find that piece of information.
I think he typed in the street address because he looked when he was following Hugh Jackman's character. He looked up at the cross streets, and then he typed them into his search engine.
Okay, so he was searching by the streets. I saw the cross street thing, but the whole like it was focused on the cop for so long. I was like, what does the cop shoot himself there have to do with that address? And I was like, oh yeah, in the beginning he was trying to tell his son that he didn't want to rent that house, and it must be his dad who shot himself.
Yeah, see that's subtle. I didn't catch that. Cool.
Well, it also said his dad's name in the article.
I did, but I was probably reading the wrong part of the article. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it was just a weird one. It's funny. I
didn't see like Lieutenant Dover in there.
We first saw the trailer for this movie the weekend at DCC, and I remember like it ending, and I immediately wanted to see this movie. Like I still think it's a fucking brilliant trailer, but they re-edited it like not too much, a month or two later, and just tweaked a couple of things. And one of the things they added was more of the necklace and the maze symbolism, and I think that was a poor choice because it was one of those things like. Because I noticed because I'd seen the trailer, I of course noticed the necklace on the guy at the beginning. That then it felt like one of those places of like, okay, how come he's not putting this together? Like I see it; it's obvious to me. It was just a weird little, one more sort of poorly cut trailer for the year.
Yeah, like how did you not recognize it when he turned in that body?
Yeah, especially because the body was like the only thing on that body was that necklace. Like. It was one place where they stretched credulity a little bit, but man, it's fucking good.
Cool. What are we seeing next week?
I don't know. What are we seeing next week?
I don't even remember.
Machete Kills?
No, that's October 11th.
No, that's 2 weeks. And isn't that the 4th? I thought it was the 4th.
No, it's 11th.
The 4th is Gravity.
Gravity?
For sure.
Yeah. Oh.
Next week is Rush. Rush is next week, isn't it? Dead air. Yeah, next week is Rush. 27th. Oh no, it's Don John.
All right.
I mean, unless somebody wants to make an argument for Rush over Don John, but
My body, my pad, my porn, my girl.
No, that's one movie that I told Ryan you were not allowed to see Don John without me.
No,
so
I'm going to go see it without her.
I will be available on Friday, so I will.
I'm going to go see it in the
We can go
afternoon.
see Don John.
I'm going to go see it in the afternoon.
not that I don't
while
want
I'm
to
at
see.
work.
Yeah.
Not that I don't want to see Rush. I do want to see Rush, but dude, Don John.
It's giving you some good vibrations.
Yeah.
Got those.
Well, and Jason Gordon-Levitt has a Twitter account where he like tweets his Don John and people ask him about it. It's awesome. It's
Oh, that's
fantastic. You should check it out if you have not.
Does he just like tweet out like porn that he's watching that day?
No, he asks like, "Yo, ladies, ask me a question," and like it's
The ladies are like, "Oh, what's it like to be from another planet?" Third Rock from the Sun.
I do like his trailer before Regal Entertainments where he says, "This is Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I am the actor-director of Don John. I hope you like it."
Yeah, I know. He's just so excited for you to see his movie. It's very adorable.
Cool.
I'm
Bye.
excited too. Bye.
See ya.
Don't